You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
I guess the students got a little more to learn to take over from the teacher. There's Liam Cohen in London. After a game, let's just call it like it is. It was frankly a little embarrassing, I think, across the pond of how the Jaguars played, of what the team put out there. Facing off against a Rams team, the storyline was, well, are the Rams going to be jet-lagged? Are they going to be tired? They didn't leave Baltimore or whatever till Friday. They're going to treat it like a West Coast game, I guess. Didn't see a lot of fatigue from the Los Angeles Rams. Did see some from the Jacksonville Jaguars. But at the end of the day, you're going into a bye week now with a lot more questions and answers. And it's wild how the first chunk of the season, the first 7 games, I think anybody right now would take 4-3. But you look at how the wins went, and now you look at how you lost games, and I think people are more concerned about the way that you've lost as opposed to the way that you've won. Hamby, is that a fair assumption right now?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think at the end of the day, I think you hit the nail on their head. Everybody's happy that we're 4-3. Everybody would have taken that, but it's the way that the last 2 losses have come where major concern is starting to set in.
Yep, and I need to go back because I try to hold myself accountable on this show. I have a pretty good memory of things that I say. Let me go ahead and say I was wrong in terms of when I had the quote of saying this team is different now, where I don't see a team like this getting blown out at all. I think Liam Cohen came in here and changed things around where you weren't going to see a 50-burger getting placed like you saw in Detroit last year. You weren't going to see a Bills game on prime time, getting embarrassed. That was a curb stomping yesterday. And I think the only saving grace of that game yesterday was the fact that you had Sean McVay and you had a student in Liam Cohen, where I think Sean McVay may have taken a little easier on Liam Cohen. When you have a minute left in the first half and you run the ball for 9 yards to start the series off, and then you take knee, that goes to show me that you weren't really worried about the Jacksonville Jaguars in the second half. It goes to show me that, you know what, we got our points, we got our work in, it's all good. So that game could have been far uglier than what it was. Now, I think in the second half, the Rams did try to come out and try to, have success on offense. You could see it, like Higbee, for example, looked very frustrated in the second half. But at the end of the day, it could have been a lot worse. So I was wrong. I thought, I gave this team the benefit of the doubt where they weren't going to have a game like we saw last year against the Lions. But here we are. Now, let's get to the pressing matter at hand. Let's get to the matter that everyone's talking about. Let's talk about the civil war right now that I feel like is happening on Jaguars Twitter.
Yeah.
And real quick, is our chat down? Chat's not working right now?
It should be up soon. Yes,
okay.
We've seen a lot of chats already, but they should be popping up very soon.
Okay,
so
sounds good.
Appreciate everybody hopping in. Keep going. We'll get to them.
I got
briefly.
you. No problem. So, Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
This is going to be and I said this a couple weeks ago. This is going to be what sets apart Jaguars fans. This is going to be like the ultimate civil war of, well, is he good or is he not good?
Right.
And, man, it's crazy because, once again, I hold myself accountable to what I say. I have a pretty good memory of things that we talk about on the show. And I remember last year I kind of brought up a little bit in terms of him not playing the best and for people to have a higher expectation. And then that was met with the EPA stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's not Trevor Lawrence's fault. It's Doug Peterson's fault. it's the wide receiver's fault, yada, yada, yada. He doesn't have the supporting cast. And essentially, I mean, like, not everybody disagreed with me, but I was chastised by a lot of people, like I really care, but I was chastised by a lot of people because Trevor didn't have a fair shake. We fast forward now to Liam Cohen and a new regime, and I'll bring up the same questions. Is Trevor Lawrence the guy or not? And through this question of asking if Trevor Lawrence is the guy or not, it's okay that both sides can be a little wrong here. And it's okay that both sides can be a little right here. I understand in a political landscape and in the world of social media where it's like it's all or nothing, like that's what we expect. It's not that simple with Trevor Lawrence. But here's what I'll say about it, because this rings true. And Hamby, once again, feel free to agree with me or disagree with me because, you know, by all means, feel free to hold me accountable if you have to. When we talk about quarterback contracts in the NFL, Trevor Lawrence is still a top 5 paid quarterback, yeah?
He is.
Okay, so let's go over the names real quick. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert. And then, you know, in like the same ballpark, you got Lamar Jackson. Okay, so 7 quarterbacks there. Now let me ask you this question about those 7 quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, can he elevate a team regardless if it's going bad?
Absolutely.
Can Josh Allen elevate a team if it's going bad?
Absolutely.
Can Joe Burrow elevate a team if it's going bad?
Absolutely.
Can Brock Purdy elevate a team if it's going bad? I still am on the fence with that one, but go ahead and, what's your opinion about him?
I would say no.
He's been to a Super Bowl. The sample size I feel like is a little too small. We'll wait and see on him. Can Justin Herbert elevate a team when it's going bad?
Yes.
And can Lamar Jackson elevate a team if it's going bad?
Sure.
Can Trevor Lawrence?
No.
And that's the difference. I'm going to sit here and say right now, Trevor Lawrence doesn't have the skill set or the capabilities to elevate a team around him when things aren't going their best. Patrick Mahomes can. Josh Allen can. Joe Burrow can. Justin Herbert can. Lamar Jackson can. And that's the most important part. I can sit here and say, I'm not sure if Trevor Lawrence is the guy, and then the people that are fans of Trevor Lawrence are going to say, well, look at the drops. Okay, fine. Yes, most drops in NFL history possibly for this team right now through the first 4 weeks. First 7 weeks. Mm-hmm. Maybe. But what about the overthrows? What about the underthrows? What about the throws that are hitting Travis Hunter in one hand? What about those throws? And once again, and if you want to say the excuse, offensive line, okay, I'll hear it out. Offensive line isn't going great right now. Does Joe Burrow have the best offensive line sometimes? No. Does he elevate players around him? Yes. That's the biggest difference right now. Trevor Lawrence needs everything to go right to be a successful quarterback. He needs 5 to 6 seconds in the pocket. He needs the right play call. He needs wide receivers to catch the ball, and he needs a running game to have his back. If he doesn't have those things, he's not going to succeed. And that's the difference between Trevor Lawrence and the other quarterbacks in that class right now that are getting paid what he's getting paid. And you know what I say, Hamby? It's not about the money, it's what the money says. Mm-hmm. The money says right now in Jacksonville that Trevor Lawrence, you're a franchise quarterback. And we're paying you in line with Joe Burrow. We're paying you in line right now with Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Obviously, the Mahomes one's a little different because it's such a long-term thing. But we're paying you because we think you can elevate the team around you like they can. And he can't do it. Now, it's not just his fault. But it's okay to sit there and say, you know what? He can't elevate those around him right now. He simply cannot do it. And all the Jaguars, and I think this is going to happen again. I'll get the Jaguars fans my mentions saying that I'm crazy, saying that it's Trevor Lawrence's fault. Maybe you're going to throw the EPA at me. Maybe you're going to throw the drop balls at me. Maybe you're going to throw the offensive line at me, the play calling, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, you cannot defend the fact that he doesn't have the capabilities right now to elevate the team. And until he finds that, Hamby, then you better hope this team can run the football. Then you better hope that wide receivers aren't dropping footballs. Then you better hope that they address the offensive line situation, because if they don't, based on what I've seen, it'll be more of the same. Doesn't matter who's calling the plays. It'll be more of the same. And once again, go ahead and chastise me in my mentions. This is why I said it last year, and I'm going to say it again. Literally, this is like 1 year ago I said this, and I'll say it one more time. For the enthusiasm that everybody had for Trevor Lawrence in this city when you drafted him, for the enthusiasm that everybody had in this city for wanting the Jacksonville Jaguars to lose football games so you could get a quarterback, so to the city that was literally parading around saying, yep, keep losing, thank God we can get Trevor Lawrence. It's okay to expect more from Trevor Lawrence now, everybody. Yes, receivers got to catch footballs. Yes, offensive line's got to block better. But when it comes down to it and it's fourth down, knowing you can't get the first down on the run, you can't do that. When it's a swing little pass to Travis Etienne, you got to hit him in the hands. Hamby, what do you think, man? And feel free to tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm not all the way there.
I know many people are gonna. All right, let's hear it.
I'm not all the way there. And by the way, we are up on YouTube, so appreciate everybody hopping in on that. We will be up on X momentarily.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'll give my Trevor thoughts for now and toss it back to you in a second. Yeah, he's not elevating the team. I agree with you there. Is he worth the money right now? No, he's not. That doesn't mean he's not the quarterback of the future. That doesn't mean we have to rip him a new one every single time, because at the end of the day, I still don't know what you trust, Austen. I still don't know what you trust. The guys are in your face all the time. You didn't run the football at all. You abandoned the run, which is, worse than not even being able to run it effectively. And on top of all that, you can trust nobody to catch the freaking football. You can't trust anybody to catch the football. BTJ can't catch. I think the conversation for me, I'm more frustrated with BTJ than I am with Trevor.
Okay. So, okay. Well, okay. But then let's talk about BTJ. There's an issue there.
100%. And there's been an issue there, and we've turned a blind eye to it, is the most frustrating part as a fan base. Even going back to last year, it was all good and fine, and he was awesome. It was the best receiver we've had in a long time. At the same time, go back and look at his catches. They're not firm. They weren't firm last year. And we ignored it because to some degree he still came down with the football and made a bunch of plays for you, and nothing else was positive. So, yeah, you had to – he was your only one, so you couldn't criticize him. There had to be one positive. Now there are some positives, and you've got a glaring issue in front of you, and the balls that he was bobbling last year and coming down with, he's bobbling now, and they're falling to the grass. It's a huge issue. He doesn't catch any balls firm. And how can you trust him to even put him out there, much less throw him the football?
Here's why I'm going to trust to put Brian Thomas Jr. out there. Because if he's not running drag routes, I think he's okay. When he's running across the middle,
Austin, he dropped 2 or 3 balls down the sideline yesterday.
I'm aware, man. But, I'm starting, you have to walk before. What are you going to do then? You want to cut him?
No.
Okay, so then what are we talking about here? It's apparent, number one, that running across the middle has to be done.
But
done.
You can't have that,
Yes,
though.
you can.
Austin, you can't have a receiver where defenses just know, we just got to bracket this guy.
How many times did Brian Thomas Jr. run across the middle last year where he had success?
I'm sure
compared to running bubble screens and go routes with Mac Jones.
But that can't be your only thing that you do.
But here's the thing. If I'm a head coach and I'm looking at Brian Thomas Jr. right now, and I'm seeing, you know what? I don't know if it's psychological. I don't know if he's got a shoulder issue. Whatever the case may be, he's not himself, and he can't run across the middle. So I'm not going to I'm not going to script plays then that run Brian Thomas Jr. across the middle. Now, he still has to catch the ball on the outside, yes. But at the end of the day, let's look at where it goes wrong the most, when you need him for it to go right the most. It's across the middle. So take him out of it. If you're a head coach and you can't have a scheme where Brian Thomas Jr. doesn't run across the middle, then I guess it's time for Brian Thomas Jr. to, not get so many reps. Like, if that's what it's come down to. I don't think that's the case. I think most coaches can go, okay, you know what? The drag routes, the in routes are not working. Let's try to run him some other routes. Yes, he had a horrible day, and he's had a horrible season. And right now, he's not your wide receiver one, without a doubt. And it's not helping Trevor Lawrence. But if I have to watch one more time Brian Thomas Jr. run across the middle and drop the ball when you need him to catch the ball the most, I don't know, Hamby. How many times do you got to shoot yourself in the foot to realize, you know what? Maybe this play design just isn't for us.
I mean, look, you can't. Yes, you got to walk before you can run. Before you throw him on anything over the middle, you've got to be able to just at least trust him to come down with one on the sideline. But I certainly don't want him to cut or trade it or anything like that. But I'm saying we got to have a conversation, and the target share has got to be reduced.
Okay.
It's just got to be reduced.
But so then here's my other issue. I mean, there's so many things to get into here. Tyson Campbell gets let go from the team. Maybe because he didn't fit the scheme, maybe because he wasn't playing well, but you had no problem saying, all right, we're going to trade him to Cleveland. And by the way, Tyson Campbell, pick six, whatever, man. The ball fell in his hands. I'm not going to go out there and say, okay, look what Tyson Campbell's doing now in Cleveland. He had a great play, scored a touchdown. It's more than the Jaguars could say on defense yesterday. Okay, so if that's the narrative, that everyone's being held accountable, and if you aren't playing to your best expectations, changes will be made, well then is this it for Brian Thomas Jr.? Because it was it for Tyson Campbell, and it's not like James Gladstone, Liam Cohen drafted Brian Thomas Jr., so they don't owe him anything. So then what's the difference between Tyson Campbell and Brian Thomas Jr.? Is it because Brian Thomas Jr. had such a great season last year where it's like he gets a little bit, longer of a leash now, Hamby?
Who gets more of a leash?
Brian Thomas Jr.
I mean, no, I don't think he does.
Okay,
I mean,
so then what are we talking about?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. He plays, but hey, until you start catching the football, buddy, you're going to be a little bit of a decoy. We're going to give you 3 or 4 targets a game, but you're not getting 10.
Okay.
Forget that.
Then bump him down to wide receiver 2.
He already is.
Okay, what wide receiver 3 then?
Sure.
Okay, who's wide receiver 1?
Travis Hunter is the wide receiver 1 on this football team.
In the second half, sure.
No, like going forward, Travis Hunter is your wide receiver 1.
And then
he needs
the plan on
15
defense?
targets a game.
What's the plan on defense then?
Play him as much as he can. Play him.
All right. So let's get into that conversation then.
Because here's
before
we get to Travis Hunter. If I had to scheme up the targets, which we know, everybody does, but it never works out that way.
Correct.
Right? But you're going to scheme, hey, if we had a goal, it would be this. Travis Hunter's getting 12 targets a game. When Brenton Strange comes back, he's getting 10 targets a game. Ryan Thomas, you can have 3 or 4. Parker Washington, you can have 3 or 4. Diami, 3 or 4. Obviously, you'll sprinkle Hunter Long in there. You'll sprinkle your backs in between ETN, Tootin, and LeQuint. But Travis Hunter's got to get the most targets of any receiver on this football team, and it can't be BTJ or else this one, unless he starts catching the football, or else this offense is just going to spin its wheels.
So what does this offense look like then after the bye? Are you benching Brian Thomas Jr.? Are you elevating Parker Washington? Are you elevating Tim Patrick, Kwame Brown? What does it look like then to you after the bye week?
I think it's the same kind of rotation, except
Who's
for
starting?
Travis Hunter,
Yes.
BTJ, and Diami Brown. The same 3.
Okay.
But BTJ is not getting the looks.
Okay.
We're going to throw him some screen passes, and we might take one deep shot a game, but the offense through the passing attack is going to run through Travis Hunter and then Brenton Strange when he comes back.
Okay.
Those are your 2 best weapons, and they're the only guys right now that are reliable.
Okay.
You can't depend on anybody else.
If that's the philosophy then, and I'm not saying that you're wrong here, but if Travis Hunter now is your number 1 wide receiver, he's playing 100% of the reps on offense?
Yes.
On offense?
Yes.
Okay. And then on defense, it's just use him sparingly.
Use him as much as you know. I mean,
what are we talking? Because this is the issue right now.
I get it.
And this is what
because you also gave up 35 points.
Okay.
Yeah, but Stafford threw 5 touchdowns on your head.
This is the issue, and this is what I was afraid was going to happen unless you kept on winning football games. Is now we have to talk about how this team is using Travis Hunter. And I'm going to say right now, thank God he balled out yesterday on offense.
Yeah.
Because if you watch that first half and if you watched his body language, and we're not going to pull up the video because we won't get in trouble or anything. But there was a play where, the ball may have been deflected a little bit. Ball goes on the outside. Hunter gets one hand on it towards the red zone. Doesn't come up with the catch. Gets grass in his helmet. And Trevor Lawrence comes over to, take the grass out of his helmet. Watch the body language of Travis Hunter on that play after Travis did that. Travis Hunter was over it. He was over the play calling. He was over what the offense was doing. He was over everything. Trust me, you can call me a body language expert if you want, and I know when players are frustrated. Travis Hunter was frustrated yesterday. And I don't know if it was a lack of reps on defense. I don't know if it was Trevor Lawrence, if it was a combination of everything. He was not happy yesterday. And then, thank God, in the second half, they found ways to actually get him the ball, get him involved a little more, and then he gets his first touchdown and everything. I do agree with you, Hamby, that he needs to be the focal point now on offense. And when we talk about on defense, because they don't get off the hook either, I get the second half looked a lot better, but once again, was that just Sean McVay kind of easing off the gas a little bit? How many weeks in a row now has the game wrecker featured defense? And by a game wrecker, I mean, if I'm a defensive coordinator, if I'm a position coach, and I'm scouting the offense that I'm playing against, and I put the names on the board saying, these guys cannot beat us. I don't care if it's anybody else. These guys cannot beat us. How many weeks in a row now have the guys that have been put on the board that have been the game wreckers beat you?
I mean,
the answer is too many times.
You think a game wrecker on the Rams defense beat us?
No, I'm saying now I'm going to defense, the Jaguars defense.
I got you.
And
Saying, it was stop Devontae Adams, and that was it.
Correct.
Make the Rams one-dimensional, make them only run the football. But at the same time, Austin, I don't know. I mean, Devontae beat you in the red zone, but he had a lot of yards. They spread it out.
Oh, yeah, they spread it
Terrence
out.
Ferguson
and listen,
is looking like we used to make Travis Kelce look like.
Listen, and this was the game plan was simple here from Sean McVay. He went to Coach Campanelli and said, okay, cool. Do you want to bring all your safeties up in the box and everything, and you want to maybe blitz or drop guys back into coverage? Well, we're going to make it as confusing as possible because we're going to run 2 tight end sets sometimes. We're going to run tight bunch sets sometimes, and we're going to run a lot of play action up the middle to tight ends that you've never heard of before. And it's going to be your job to try to diagnose, and if you're going to bring everybody up on the line of scrimmage, to get back really quickly, and then when you have a safety on a tight end, we're going to win that battle every single time. That's what the game plan was from Sean McVay. It wasn't rocket science. They matched safeties on tight ends for the Jaguars, and guess what? It didn't work out too well. But my point is, and I get it, maybe Devontae Adams didn't have the best day in terms of yardage, in terms of targets and catches. Guy had 3 touchdowns. That can't happen. That can't beat you. I don't care if it's the red zone, you're thinking, okay, this is Kyron Williams territory. Devontae Adams is the game wrecker. Puka Nacua was out. Some tight ends I never heard of before were not the game wreckers. Some wide receivers that I've never heard of before were not the game wreckers. Devontae Adams was. And you didn't shut him down.
You didn't.
He had 3 touchdowns.
He did.
And it seems like when Travis Hunter was in on defense, things looked a little different.
Yeah, my only thing there, Austin, is if this is off the top of my memory, so I could be wrong. I think it's at least 2 of the Devontae touchdowns were 1-yarders that were either on first or second down. So to me, it's like, okay, if that doesn't happen, then you're able to shut him down. They score anyway because they move the ball so effectively on you all game long. Through guys other than Devontae Adams, like we mentioned the tight ends and receivers that I hadn't heard of before. So I think that to me that means the answer isn't just play Travis Hunter in the red zone, because even if Travis Hunter is shutting down Devontae Adams yesterday, I still think they win 35-7. Legitimately still think that. I think that those passes to Devontae Adams, the 1 or 2 yarders, the fades, the Jags couldn't stop. I think they were either on first or second down, both 2 of the 3 at the very least. and they would have scored anyway. They could have ran the football up the middle. They just decided they wanted to take the easy way out, pick on the Jags corners, and get Devontae Adams a couple touchdowns because, honestly, it's like first down, we can score any way we want to. Devontae hasn't been getting as much love because Puka is our entire offense all season long. Since Puka's out, let's make sure let's just do it through Devontae. We can do it any way we want to, so let's just pick him. And they did, and they scored. So I don't necessarily think the Travis Hunter being on Devontae Adams would have necessarily changed the score. So
I think Travis Hunter being on defense would have changed the score.
I agree. Possibly. So because what I wanted to be able to say is play him 100% on offense, play Travis 100% on offense because you got to have him as a receiver, and then play him as a DB in the red zone at the very least. Well, that wouldn't even have fixed your problem. It would have helped, but the Rams still would have scored. They still would have put up 35 points because they moved it on you at will.
Yeah,
will.
They definitely would have found a way to get it done.
So,
but see, this is circling back to my point though. And this is what's going to go wrong until you start going on win streaks again. When your defense looks like the way they do, and it's not really good right now, and when your offense is doing what they're doing, and you have a first-round pick in Travis Hunter that you sacrificed essentially 2 first-round picks to get, and you told us he was going to change the game and all this stuff, now we're sitting here saying, well, he's got to change the game on both sides of the football because they need him to. It would have been a luxury if, like, the Jaguars defense showed up yesterday. It's like, okay, you know what? Offense isn't doing so well. All right, Travis, you got to spend all your time on offense. But here's the issue, and it's a good problem to have, but it's also a bad problem to have. Travis Hunter right now is your best wide receiver by far, and he's your best corner by a long shot as well. And then there's no room for debate about it. Like, he's your best weapon on offense right now. I mean, Travis Etienne was, but now they're not using him. So it's Travis Hunter on offense and Travis Hunter on defense. And I'm going to be honest, like, that's a good problem to have because it shows, okay, I mean, obviously you sacrifice so much to get him, but now it's a bad problem to have because they still don't know how to use him. And guess what? And maybe I don't know either, but I'm not getting paid to figure it out. So I think going forward, yeah, I agree with you. 100% on offense. He's the best thing going right now at wide receiver. And then on defense, I mean, I hate to say it because I was once saying it's a marathon, not a sprint. You're going to have to use him at least 50 to 60% of the time on defense.
Yeah.
To, I think, even have a chance. Unless some serious changes get made here.
I don't know if they will. But I think the answer legitimately is, at this point, play him as much as he possibly can play. And the great thing about that is he's going to want to play. The only people holding him back are the coaches. Mm-hmm. And, again, we've said this all season long. The Jaguars winning and starting, 4-1 has covered up all of the Travis Hunter stuff.
Of course.
We've said it almost every show. Now that you're losing, it becomes a glaring issue. Mm-hmm. And now here's your problem. It's not just that. You have a ton of glaring issues right now that you've lost from Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, we could spend an hour on him. From BTJ and 30 minutes on him. Travis Hunter is now one of your biggest issues but at the same time, it can be your quickest fix. I don't know how good Travis Hunter is. We think he's special. We think he's really good. At the end of the day, we don't know. We haven't seen him play a full game on defense yet. So haven't seen it.
I don't have to see it, Hamby, to know
I agree.
that he's the best player in your secondary right now.
And I agree.
Have to see it. I've seen enough.
I agree.
Okay.
So your biggest problem right now can be your easiest fix, because it takes nothing really to just say, okay, our biggest change when we go to Las Vegas after this bye week is Travis Hunter, you're playing 80% on both sides of the football. Mm-hmm. And we'll see where we're at. Like, that could very well change a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's at the snap of a finger, it's one decision. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, if they were to decide to go that way, I think I'd be very encouraged because I think that's fixing a lot. There are a lot of teams in the NFL that lose and they don't know what to fix. And they don't have a lot of options. The Jaguars have options. The Jaguars have a lot of things that they could do very easily and very quickly that could fix this. I don't know if it would be an immediate fix or not. I don't know how successful it would be. I don't know what Travis Hunter looks like when he's playing 90 to 95, 100 snaps in an NFL football game just because we haven't seen it. So I'm not going to be the guy who's going to stamp him as a top 5 corner in college, in the NFL already, and a guy who can go for 100 yards and a touchdown as a receiver every single game. I'm not going to do it. But at the same time, like you just said, we've seen all that we've needed to see. I already know he is your most dependable receiver as long as he knows where to line up on offense, and he's already your most dependable DB on anybody. No matter who the other team is throwing out there on the outside.
Okay. So then now let's get into another situation that I think merits talking about a little bit. Actually, should we take a break first, and then we'll come back to it?
Let's just go.
Blow through? Okay.
Just go.
So, obviously, Brenton Strange out right now is a huge issue. And I think if you watched that 49ers game last night, you saw what that running game could do when George Kittle came back. Not saying that Brenton Strange is in George Kittle territory yet, but I think he's pretty close in terms of the impact on this team. Are you confident right now of who they have to replace Brenton Strange as he's out because injuries do happen? Or is there a serious need right now to replace, Brenton Strange until he comes back 100%? And are they regretting right now letting Evan Ingram go?
No. I'm close, but I'm not there. You don't bring anybody in, or you don't regret. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to have your bye, then you're going to play the Raiders, and then Brenton Strange should be back. He's probably going to miss one more football game, maybe 2. You really need him for the game after the Raiders when you go to Houston and play the Texans on the road. You will need Brenton Strange. That is a huge difference in that football game, in my opinion. If you can get him back, then as far as your tight ends go, all is well, as far as I'm concerned. You got by 2.5 football games with Hunter Long, Johnny Munt, and it didn't go so well, but it is what it is. I don't think you should have kept – this doesn't make me regret losing Evan Ingram and letting him go. It doesn't make me regret, not making a move as soon as Brenton Strange goes down, knowing that he's only going to be out for 4 weeks, hopefully. We'll see if everything comes back. But as we have no reason to believe that he wouldn't be back as of right now. We haven't heard anything one way or the other. So I think it's just, hey, I mean, guys get hurt. I mean, Hunter Long and Johnny Munt, they haven't been, I mean, they're not the problem for me. There's so many, they're like 15th on the list of problems of why the Jaguars are getting beat and why they're 0-2 in their last 2.
Okay, well then let's talk about maybe some more pressing problems then. Let's talk about a team, and I've said this before, and I've been on record saying this, once again, trying to hold myself accountable. Said that this was going to be the game to watch because so far during this team's run, I've been extremely impressed of when it goes bad, how I feel like Liam Cohen holds everybody accountable, and they rebound.
Yep.
I'm here to tell you now that I think the Kansas City game was an anomaly in terms of the penalties. In terms of the self-inflicted wounds. I think that game was an outlier. I think that game was an anomaly. I don't know if it was because just, it was more focused being a primetime game or whatever the case may be. That team that was disciplined, that had whatever it was, 4 or 5, I think it was 4 penalties, maybe even less. That was an anomaly. Like, we're 7 games into the season right now. This is the most penalized team in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And that's who they are.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fact.
So, Austin, let's get to all the penalties. Liam Cohen versus Sean McVay. More on Trevor Lawrence after the break. That'll be our Monday morning quarterback presented by your local Hyundai dealers. Appreciate everybody hopping in with us to start on a Monday morning. Like we said, YouTube, we've been good. Now we're up on Twitter. So if you're on YouTube or if you've missed us or whatever, we're up on Twitter. We're up on the Action Sports Jacks Twitter page as well. So hop in. We've seen all of your chats. We've got over 150 or something so far already through 39 minutes. Keep popping in. We will get to them, and we'll have your Monday morning quarterback right after this on the Brent and Austen Show.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade.
Putting your needs first. It's the backbone of how First Florida Credit Union does business. In all honesty, you might as well be speaking another language when it comes to finances. Sure, I'm good with my money, but what am I missing in the fine print? That's what led me to First Florida Credit Union. They're the perfect choice for anyone starting their financial journey because they keep finances easy. Plus, they offer financial education and resources I can trust. So I'm always growing more confident. And as a young adult, I am constantly adding more responsibilities to my plate. From a car payment to a mortgage, it all adds up. Luckily, First Florida Credit Union makes sure it adds up in all the right places and not the wrong ones by offering better rates and lower fees than traditional banks, even if you're still trying to grow your credit. Because as a member-owned institution, First Florida genuinely puts people's needs first rather than focusing on profit. So I know as my needs change, they'll be right there to help me reach my goals. Check out firstflorida.org to learn how you can benefit too.
It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Cozy up to the bar. Grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant, or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic.
We got a special guest in the house. He's happy. He's feeling good. He's Trayvon Walker.
It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you.
Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jax Beach, you got to do it.
String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jax Beach on Penman Road.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, Honda has what you need.
The Honda Talon. Ultimate performance meets family-friendly fun. Prices starting at $363 a month. Or the sporty Honda CBR 650 starting at an affordable $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from a full line of Honda products. Only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay & Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going. Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052. It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Your Monday morning quarterback report driven by your local Hyundai dealers, and now there's even more to love. Go check them out. Monday morning quarterback today. Obviously focus on Trevor Lawrence and the civil war that's happening in the Jacksonville Jaguars fan base, whether he's good or not, whether he's the guy or not, whether he deserves the large contract or not. But before we get there, let's get to what, Austen, you were talking about right before we went to break. It's the penalties, and you were saying that the Chiefs game is the outlier. The Jags, obviously the most penalized team in the NFL, 13 more penalties yesterday against the Rams. When they finally did have something positive on offense, it didn't matter. It was coming back, illegal procedure, holding, you name it, across the board on the punt return. Total disaster, undisciplined football team. We've gone down almost each and every week on Mondays in our Monday morning quarterbacks and said, look, Liam Cohen's whole thing is fast, fundamentally sound, attacking. What's the S? Doesn't matter because we're still focused on that. We're still trying to get the F. Fundamentally sound in the fast. This Jaguars team has not been fundamentally sound at all.
Yeah. They haven't been fundamentally sound. They've lost their identity to run the football. There's been a lot of things, but here's a prime example. You go down 7-0. Well, I mean, obviously you had the 3 and out, right? Mm-hmm. Trevor, the very first play of the game, I think he checks out of something. It was what appeared on the broadcast. Checks out of something, had Travis Hunter open, couldn't see him quick enough, gets sacked. Then it's all downhill from there. 3 and out, you punt it. Los Angeles doing what they do. They go score, and now it's your chance to counterpunch. It's your chance to get it back. Right? And I think it's either the first play or the second play of that second series, holding penalty. No, it would have been the first play because it was 1st and 20 then after that. So that's 1st and 20. Well, you've immediately backed yourself up to 1st and 20, and the way the offense has looked the past couple weeks, I had zero confidence in them picking it up. And what a shock they didn't. Right? So that's just one example of killing any momentum, of having to counter a team that just scored on you, and you come out there and you shoot yourselves in the foot. Now, let me start up by saying this, because I've been very evident about this, and I saw this happen again during the halftime interview. Did you see the halftime interview with Liam Cohen?
I did, yes.
What was the very first thing that he said, the very first question when he was asked about the penalties? What did he say? And then he stopped himself from saying it.
I don't remember.
Okay. He said, well, the referee, and then all of a sudden he stopped himself.
Yes. Yep.
Your very first thing is to blame the referee, and then you stopped yourself.
Well, okay. So
sure.
I'll say
Hit
this.
me with it.
After, in the postgame, he first took a lot of accountability. Said it's the Jaguars. It's the play. It's
on him.
It's his fault.
It's on him.
Then they can't do this stuff. But also did reference again, the Dewey penalty.
Yeah, because
if you reference on the punt, he was like, "We're not exactly. We've got to figure out from the league how to coach that better." That's not the exact quote, but it's very close.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that there's a mix between he thinks that they got screwed on a couple things and don't exactly know what they're supposed to do. Why they're getting PI calls on some, but yet they can't get one in the red zone.
Yeah, now
valid, but at the same time, when you have 13, to your point, kind of goes out the window.
No, listen, was the Dewey penalty in the end zone BS? Absolutely. Should have never been called. Did it make a difference in the grand scheme of things? I don't think so, because I'm going to be honest, I think the Rams would have scored regardless if there was a penalty or not.
Yes.
The Jerry Jones penalty, was that egregious? Probably, right? It was debatable. But at the same time, don't give him a reason to make that call. Don't even touch the guy and put your hand on his back. And they don't call it. Don't give him the reason. I didn't how, once again, and this is me going back to a couple weeks ago, I don't like how the very first reaction that you have when you're asked about the referees is that or the penalties, it's the refs aren't doing their job. Sure, yeah, they're not. It was bad. There's a couple of egregious calls that probably shouldn't have been called that the Jaguars got screwed on. But it's not the reason why they lost the game. And once again, repeating myself from a couple weeks ago, what good is it to go out there and say, yeah, the refs are kind of screwing us over? Like I tell my 10-year-old son when he gets frustrated because he thought the refs made a bad call. Complaining about it, having it live in your headspace is doing nothing for you. It doesn't get you better. Because at the end of the day, you can whine, you can complain, you can question everything. It won't change anything. So instead of worrying about the referees, this is me talking to my son, instead of worrying about the referees, ask what you can do better. Ask what you have to do to improve your play. And let the refs take care of themselves. That's what I tell my 10-year-old. I don't want to have a 10-year-old conversation with Liam Cohen. He's far more smarter and more intelligent than I ever will be in the game of football. But at some point, when they ask you about your penalties and your very first response is the refs, you might have to take a little more self-accountability and go like, yeah, we got to clean it up. Yeah, we can't keep shooting ourselves in the foot. Because that holding on the second series when LA scored wasn't the ref's fault. I would say 10 penalties that occurred yesterday weren't the ref's fault. So you can only blame them so much before you as a coach and you as a franchise have to ask yourselves, what are we not doing? Why aren't they understanding this? Because we praise this regime, we praise this team for communication. They do a great job of communicating with the media, communicating with the fans. Well, why can't they communicate with their players and clean these mistakes up? Because once again, this is who you are now. I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt anymore like the Kansas City game. That was an anomaly. You're the most penalized team in the NFL. That starts on coaching. Yes, and now we're going to go back and forth. Well, it's the players. The players got to make plays. The players got to make... At the end of the day, when you're averaging 10, whatever it is, 11 penalties a game, the player, at some point you got to ask the question of, okay, we can sit here and blame the players all we want, but something isn't getting across in terms of coaching and teaching.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ham?
I mean, I am more hesitant to put it on the. I'm more apt to put it on the players than I am the coaching. But I do agree at this point, when it's this much of an issue, it does come down to coaching it better and all those things. I don't know how quick they can get one of the something like this fixed. I really don't know. And my concern with the penalties is specifically on the offensive line. I think the offensive line, right? I had it in my calendar, and we're going to do this again tomorrow when Brent gets back. Obviously, he's on his way back.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even mention that. But, sorry, by the way,
everybody.
Welcome to the Brent and Austen Show. I'm Austen Lane. That's Jason Hamby pushing all the right buttons. Brent Martineau right now in the air, coming back from the UK. He'll be here tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I was so heated, man. I didn't even really intro the show.
It's all good.
It was right into Trevor Lawrence. My bad.
Yes, and we will be getting to all of your comments in the 11 o'clock hour. Obviously, you can see.
I can't wait because I can't see
some issues. They're not showing up.
Yeah.
People have been spamming on YouTube, and there's a lot of people with a lot of stuff to say. We will get to that.
Am I getting roasted for the Trevor Lawrence take?
Actually not, and we will get to that. But in my calendar for today, it says 3 things Jaguars after week 1. 6 weeks ago, after we beat Carolina, Travis Etienne was the NFL's leading rusher. Our offensive line has the best pass protection game in the NFL.
Sure.
And our defense forced a bunch of turnovers, right? So we asked, after the bye, or going into the bye, after week 7, after the Rams game, of those 3 things, which is going to still be the case and which is not? And here's the 3 things. Will Etienne be a top 5 runner?
Yep.
Will your defense be a top 10 defense? And will you have very good O-line pass protection?
I think
that is your outlier right there.
Did you write the answers down? What we all answered?
I don't.
Okay,
I didn't.
Okay, I got you. Because I remember. We're all wrong at the end of the day because nothing is, holding up to it. But my argument was, I didn't think the offensive line was gonna suffice what they've been doing just because of who they played.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think it was going to be this bad either.
And look, it's really bad. And it's bad as the entire unit. You know, we wanted to give him a little bit of slack when it was Monheim last week. Not that he played bad, but hey, anytime you've got a different signal caller, there's a potential that it could leak to everybody else. Obviously, that wasn't the case. Hainsey came back yesterday, and the offensive line was terrible yet again. Trevor Lawrence has been sacked 17 times in the last 3 weeks. I believe 13 times in the last 2 games, 7 and 6, or either 7 and 7. I know he was sacked 7 times against the Seahawks last Sunday. It was either 6 or 7 yesterday. It's really bad. Walker Little is not playing well. Is not playing good football right now. He's not staying in front of guys. He's not giving Trevor Lawrence a shot. McCory at right guard, a lot of penalties, and we talked about it last week. He was benched. They put in Adoga in. Adoga had 2 straight penalties. They pulled him right back out and sent McCory right back in. He had another tough game yesterday in pass pro, penalties as well. Anton, don't think he played all that particularly well as well. I know Cleveland got beat at least once. I'm not sure on Hainsey. I didn't see any, glaring. Holy cow, Hainsey just got whipped on that one. I didn't see that. I did see that with Walker Little at least twice, if not more. It's a big problem right now, and I don't exactly know what to make of it because the Rams are good on the D-line. We know that. The Seahawks are good on the D-line. We know that.
Sure.
But the Texans are too, and Trevor Lawrence wasn't in any kind of this amount of duress against Houston. I mean, the Chiefs defense, they don't have the names, but they were good on the D-line.
Yeah.
Are we just supposed to say, Chris Jones just quit the whole game, not just on that one play. So, the Jaguars offensive line, they weren't really forced to do a whole lot. No, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all. Chris Jones is still that dude, and George Karlaftis is a very good football player and has a unit. They're very good on the defensive line. They did nothing against Trevor. 2 or 3 sacks. I mean, that's a normal day. That was their worst day of the season up until that point. But this is a problem, and I don't know where it came from.
So, I mean, I think you can go a couple of different directions with this. I'm going to sit here and say, when you look at that Texans game, and this is what I've been clamoring for, I feel like since like week 3, week 4. No matter how much that the fan base or whoever wants this Jaguars team to be what Liam Cohen had with the Buccaneers last year, it's time to like wake ourselves up and realize like that's not going to happen. And I've said it before, that's okay. But what I said this team was going to be is they're going to be a run-first team. And if they want to have, if they want to have moderate success to great success, and you want Trevor Lawrence to be elevated and all this stuff, you have to run the football. Because in terms of your roster, in terms of what you have at your capabilities, you are not capable of not having a run game and expecting Trevor to throw 40 to 50 times a game and having a lot of success. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what the numbers say in terms of Houston, but I assume they ran it a little more against Houston than they did against the Rams. And here's the frustrating part. If you look at the numbers, and I get it's much more than box score watching, and it's more to do with game flow and the situation and everything. Travis Etienne had 8 rushes for 44 yards. That's 5.5 a pop. Tootin, who I didn't think had a great day, 5 rushes for 22 yards and 4.4 yards a pop. That's what it was. And then you had a couple jet sweeps to Parker Washington. You had the one to Travis Hunter that got shut down. And then Trevor took off and ran for a couple times as well.
I mean, he's still running for 5.5 a carry. Just give him the ball.
So this is my point. If you have a running back who's running 5.5 per carry, and by the way, at this point, before Travis Hunter broke out in the second half, a running back who was probably the most consistent and best thing you had on offense that we've seen.
Absolutely.
Why aren't you using him? Why isn't the ball in his hands? Why did you come out in rainy weather and say, here you go, Trevor, go win us the football game? I think these are legitimate questions. And we've seen it now, Hamby. like, this is a big enough sample size. And I've said it how many weeks now? If this team can't run the ball, this offense isn't going to be what we want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, maybe losing Brent Strange a little bit hurts you. But how about we find out? Like, see, this is a frustrating thing to me. Whether we're going to find out if Trevor Lawrence is the guy or not, time will tell. I still want to find out how good Travis Etienne is.
Yeah.
Because he had 8 carries yesterday for 44 yards, and I don't really know. I don't think he got a big enough sample size. And don't tell me, okay, well, the game flow, you're done by 14 and everything. Like, it's the only thing that was working on offense. So maybe keep trying to do it a little more.
Right.
Right? And it's baffling to me, too, because if you look at what Tampa Bay did last year with Rachaad White and Bucky Irving, and especially when their wide receivers went down, you didn't have Mike Evans, and you didn't have, Chris Godwin, who's out for the season, and you had a bunch of guys that you're just kind of relying on. They relied on their run game. Well, let's look at these wide receivers right now. It's hard to really trust anybody. Mm-hmm. Brian Thomas Jr. dropping footballs. Parker Washington had a drop across the middle. Travis Hunter is starting to come on to his own a little bit now. But you can't really trust a lot right now in this pass game. Mm-hmm. So maybe run a little more and see what happens. Like, give Travis Etienne a reason not to trust him and then move on. But until that time, trust Travis Etienne.
Yeah, he's got to get at least 15 to 18 carries at minimum every single ball game, regardless of game script. Like, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, when you were down 14-0 and you realize, we've got 3 3-and-outs, they're already getting to the quarterback. Trevor's already been sacked a couple of times through 2 possessions. We got to feed Travis Etienne. It doesn't matter if we're down 14-0 because we can't do anything otherwise. And look, if you ran the football more, that would have put you in more advantageous position on 4th down. I mean, you had, what, 4 turnover on downs? Yeah, you had 4. And you missed a field goal. Mm-hmm. So, if you're able to run the football more, at least just take the second quarter. Let's just take the second quarter. If you run the football more in the second quarter, that field goal the field goal gets a little shorter. You make that one. You maybe don't turn the football over. And who knows? At least it's 21-6 at half. Yep. And then you can continue running the football. And then you come out in the third quarter and you go 10 plays, 53 yards, and are throwing it on every single like. Let me read you this play or this drive. Okay, it's 21-0. It could very well be 21-6 if you just took points and Cam Little, which is another conversation that we have to have. Here's this play. This is the first drive out of halftime. Mm-hmm. You ran 10 plays. Okay? Mm-hmm. 0 runs. Mm-hmm. Every single play was a pass. 11-yard pass, incompletion. 11-yard pass, 11-yard pass, 10-yard penalty. Incompletion, 8-yard pass, incompletion, turnover on downs.
And this is the issue.
Run the ball.
And this is why the Jaguars' defense has been getting beat a lot lately. Because even when by the way, I'm an idiot for taking the Kyron Williams over for rushing yards. I thought he was just going to feast.
I did too.
I took it. And once again, this is how disrespectful Sean McVay and this offense was for the Rams. It's pouring rain. You have a quarterback that's not that mobile. You have your best wide receiver, who's one of the best wide receivers in the entire NFL, who is out. And you start the game by going, Kyron, whatever. Now, who cares? We'll pass. We're that confident. But what did the Rams do, Hamby? They threatened the run. When you go with those tight bunch formations, when you have 2 tight ends in the game,
13 personnel,
everybody's thinking, oh, well, this might be a run right here. And as a defense, and I've said this many times on the show, I absolutely despise playing against teams like the Houston Texans with that Kubiak offense. Mm-hmm. Because he was such a genius of everything looked the same. So just when you think, okay, here comes another run, oh, wait, it's play action? Well, dang, I'm right down the middle right now on my offensive tackle, and they call it truck driving, where you have 2 hands down the middle because you think it's going to be a run, and it's actually a pass, and I can't get my pass rush move because the ball's already out. Go back and watch the game yesterday to see how many times the defensive lineman for the Jacksonville Jaguars thought it was going to be a run was really a pass. And then watch how many times yesterday tight ends were wide open because safeties cheated down too much because they thought it was going to be a run when it was really a pass. The Dewey play obviously is a prime example of that. That's been making its way right now around Twitter, I've seen. But that's just one example of many examples where you had an offense in the Los Angeles Rams who you didn't know what they were doing. And you had an offense with the Jacksonville Jaguars where it's like, okay, I guess they're going to let Trevor Lawrence try to beat us. Let's have some fun. Can't do that. Can't do that. Now you mentioned it. All right, let's get into another thing. Like, by the way, this is just, I feel like I'm going through like Dante's Inferno right now of like whatever the 8 or 9 stages of hell where we're just, okay, well, here comes the play calling, here comes the penalties. Is it 7? I don't know, man. I didn't read the book. I wasn't paying attention in Civ's class when I was in college.
Harry Potter.
I was reading Harry Potter. Yeah. Okay, we got through the penalties. Okay. We got through the Travis Hunter stuff. Is Trevor Lawrence good or not? Got through all that. All right.
There's 9.
Knew it. 8 or 9. Okay. Well, I might have to go for 11 today. Cam Little is an issue. Now, once again, and this, here's why it's a huge problem. You can look at Brian Thomas Jr. for how he's playing and go, okay, we can try to get him more confidence, try to scheme him open, even though it's not really working right now. But like, you know what I'm saying? You can try to get him more confidence and run routes that, you know, are wide receiver friendly. The fact that we have to have that conversation is really crazy to me, but like that's where we're at right now with the number 1 receiver last year who is quickly falling and becoming a 2 or 3 receiver. Don't know how many teams in the NFL have to have that conversation right now, but we're having it in Jacksonville. Nevertheless, Cam Little, you can't scheme anything for Cam Little. You either make your kicks or you don't. And he's not making his kicks right now. And I don't care about the narrative of, well, okay, well, if he goes someplace else, watch him be an all-pro. We've seen it before. Look at Jason. I don't care. It's not working here right now. And the standard, at least so I thought, is when it's not working and it's not looking good, then changes are made. Once again, the Tyson Campbell effect. So, Jason Hamby, are you going to let Cam Little roll another week and say hopefully he figures it out? Hopefully he gets better? Or if you're James Gladstone and company, do you use this bye week right now to at least maybe bring in somebody for a competition to see?
No, I don't bring anybody in.
No
yet.
competition?
No.
Then, okay, but before you speak your piece, are you kind of going back on what James Gladstone said then, where every week's an evaluation, every week we're trying to get better? Are we confident right now with Cam Little? Because I'm not.
No, I'm not confident with him, and trust me, this is one of the stickier situations I think that you have, especially because he's a year 2 player, and he at times has looked like the best kicker in all of the National Football League, maybe other than Brendan Aubrey of the Cowboys. Look, maybe you just give him this week and say, hey, buddy, you know, maybe he needs a vacation as much as anybody. And he needs to reset, needs to take a couple of days off the leg. And you give him a game or two when he comes back. Look, if he's still missing all of his kicks against the Raiders and the Texans when they come back, sure, you got to bring somebody in. You just got to make kicks in the NFL. But I still think he's done a little bit too much. He's a little bit too talented to, at this point, it's been 3 weeks. It's not been even all, I mean, he hasn't been as good this year as he was last year. It's been a brutal 3 weeks. I mean, missing the extra point, can't make a 50-yarder, which we thought for him was about as automatic as it gets. You know, we played ourselves. Nobody's always going to be automatic from that range. It's just not how kicking works, especially with how mental it is. You give him a little bit more time. Don't bring anybody in because then you're really screwing them. Like, in my opinion,
go ahead.
Especially at the kicker position, I could be way off on this. As soon as you bring somebody else in to try out, it's over for the starter. It's over.
Why do you say that?
I don't think this is like other positions where it's like, hey, like this is light a fire under you. You got to make kicks because look, You got competition now. I think this is a total confidence thing, and they need to keep throwing confidence behind Cam Little at this point. And as soon as they bring in somebody else, his confidence at that point will be, I don't know what the word is, but it ain't coming back.
Kasey Kuhrts joining the show now. Good to have you. We'll get you a second. Yeah, just come right in here, man.
We got to get to a break, but yes.
All right, well, Hamby, real quick, and then we'll talk more about it. So we'll get Kasey in the next break here. You're sitting here and saying we can't bring another kicker for competition. Because mentally, maybe it wouldn't be good for Cam Little. Let's give him another week. Let's not put any more pressure on him. We're having all these conversations of a guy whose only job is to kick a football. But on the other side of the coin, when it's your only job as a wide receiver, or really one of your only jobs, is to catch the football, and Brian Thomas Jr. can't do that, we're all sitting saying, all right, we'll bench him. All right, we'll find somebody else for him. So we're going to give Cam Little the special treatment, but we're going to say, Brian Thomas Jr., we're done with you.
No,
see, that's not consistent, though. This is not the message that James Gladstone was sending.
I didn't say you got to send BTJ off. I didn't say you got to necessarily even go get another guy.
Yeah, no,
I said he's got to get less reps. He's got to be targeted less times.
Okay.
So that means any 50-plus, right now, Cam Little, you're not going out there. We're going for it on fourth down like they just did yesterday.
Hamby, if you have an NFL kicker and now the narrative is, well, we can't go out there at 50 or plus because we're afraid he's going to miss it.
For the next 2 weeks.
Then you have a kicker problem. No, then you have a kicker problem.
I'm not arguing that you don't have a kicker problem.
Then it's time for a change.
That means you don't send them out there against the Raiders for a 50-yarder. You send them out there for a 35-yarder, a 42-yarder, whatever the case may be. Something that's less than 45. He makes it. There's a little bit of confidence back. And then in 2-3 weeks, after he's made 4 kicks in 2 weeks, then it's free reign again.
There is no, absolutely not. And listen,
that's what you do.
Okay, we're not going to break, so that's fine. I'll pay the fine. That's fine. You are not going to sit there and tell me that it's 50 yards. You know what, Cam, you're not feeling it right now. That's okay. It's like 4th and 3. We'll go for it. Because number one, I have zero confidence in this team to make a 4th and 3 right now.
I do.
And number two, I'm not sure if you watched the NFL lately. A 50-yard kick is pretty much a gimme these days.
I get it, but everybody's still missing kicks.
Hamby.
Kickers aren't good.
Kickers are.
They're making them from longer than ever, and yes, the Packers dude's making a 61. Moody, I think, made one. But across the league, guys are still missing kicks.
I refuse to have the conversation. And this will be a hill that I will die, bleed out, get resuscitated, bleed out again, call the paramedics, I'll bleed out again, resurrect me, and then I'll bleed out some more. I am not going to have this conversation where we have to coddle a kicker because he can't make it over 50 and we have to make him feel better about it. That's not how the NFL works. I don't care the position. I don't care if it's a wide receiver. I don't care if it's an offensive tackle. And I damn sure don't care if it's a kicker. If you can't do your job, then guess what? Time for competition. And if you can't handle the competition, then guess what? Maybe this job isn't for you in Jacksonville. And maybe you go to Seattle and all of a sudden you become an all-pro kicker. That's not the problem here. If you can't make a 50-yard kick here, I don't know what else to tell you. All right, we have to go to break. I'm already getting fined because of it. We have Kasey Kuhrts here. Can't wait to hear what he has to say about this game. We may have to bring HR too because I'm getting ready to have a heart attack, I feel like. It's getting a little too ramped up here. We still got like an hour and a half to go here.
And that's your Monday Morning Quarterback presented by your local Hyundai dealer.
Monday Morning Kicker. All right.
Even more to love. We'll be right back on the Brent Austin Show.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
for the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jag Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet is truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Oh, boy. Hope you enjoyed the show, London. I don't know what the heck that is.
Oh, that's the Go Bear, right?
Who is you?
I don't know. The AO, I thought it was a G.
That's an A.
AO Bear? AO.
Who is that guy?
I don't know, but they're eating it up.
Where's Jacksonville? We'll tackle that, dude.
Oh, it's a ad, but anyway.
It's a
I hope it's an ad.
What? You didn't think it was not an ad?
Well, I mean, I didn't know. I mean, maybe if it's in the NFL, I'm going to shout it out. But I wasn't planning to shout out AO Smile today.
Yeah, let me give my shout out, ladies and gentlemen. Grace and the Action Sports 24/7 network with his presence, the James Gladstone of Jacksonville Sports Media, Mr. 100K by Wednesday, Kasey Kuhrts. Kasey, thanks for joining us. You came into a little bit of a family dispute with me and Hamby talking about Cam Little.
Yeah.
Your thoughts about, do you give him more time? Do you bring in competition? What do you do with Cam Little?
Real quick, the AO Bear is a green plush toy that's like a mask.
Okay.
So it was an ad.
Okay.
And it worked because we talked about it.
Yeah, and I can't wait till it's going to take over my cell phone now and get him algorithm. Thank you, Kasey.
Yeah, sorry about that. So Cam Little.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit surprised.
Or at least there's not competition. I mean, I think we'll see with this bye week. Because and here's what I said, like, when you traded Tyson Campbell like you did, and I get he wasn't playing that great.
Did you guys see Tyson?
But, yeah, not bad. Also kind of maybe won you a game against Houston.
Keep belling that pick.
But at the end of the day, you set a precedent then. If you're James Gladstone and said, any player that's not going to play up to the standard, that's going to struggle, we're going to be cutthroat and we're going to let you go.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Cam Little has been up to the standard.
Here's the thing. If you're going to – I agree with you. But if you're going to if you're not playing up to standard, you got to go. Well, they got to cut 14 people.
Well, I mean,
right?
at least
you're not going to be able to field a team. So, but I agree with you. And I think kicker, man, like – gotta make the kicks. Like that's the whole gimmick,
yeah.
right?
And Kasey, I don't care if he goes someplace else and becomes an all-pro. Like that's
I don't think you can be worried about that if you're the Jags because there's more of a scenario that Tyson Campbell just let him go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're worried about decent players going and being good somewhere else, you can't do that. But I mean, not that they were going in. They changed the whole way they were playing because they couldn't make a kick.
Mm-hmm.
4th and 8, and the broadcast is like, there's no scenario. They're going here. Nope, Jags offense is back on the field. It's like, all right, if I got the Hall of Fame quarterback in the booth telling me they shouldn't be going here, you're changing the way you're playing because you can't make a kick. I understand you're down. There was no real hope that you were going to score. But around the league, remember Riley Patterson? He's making kicks for the Dolphins. Let him go. Nobody cares. Like, it's just that position. I thought they would get.
Real quick, we'll change topics in a second here. Do you think, and it's crazy that I'm saying this now, but like, do you think him hitting that 70-yarder in the preseason was like a detriment now in reflection? And I don't know why it would be, because like we were all excited and everything, but it seems like since that happened, things really haven't been the same.
Yeah, the way it's played out, I mean, I'm not sure if that's a psyche thing or what that is, and I don't feel like even after that, I feel like Cohen hasn't done anything different with him, right? Because Brent's tweeted about it during games. And I'm sure we all thought about it early in week 1, week 2, week 3. There was a couple times they were about midfield, and I remember in the living room I was like, let him try.
Yeah.
But they didn't even do that kind of. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I feel like Cohen didn't let it get to his head in terms of, we're 66 yards away. Let's try it. What the hell?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not mismanagement from that point, but that is a moment that you point to and say, yeah, it's been a little bit different since then. And the craziest part about it is right now, I know he's good last year. That's his biggest, that's kind of what we're all holding on to, isn't it? Mm-hmm. He did make it from 70, but it doesn't count. And it didn't actually happen, if you ask.
Yeah, of course.
Like we saw it,
yeah,
but it didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
So,
but no, one of the biggest record-breaking things that happened in this franchise happened in the preseason.
Right.
And if you want to keep having that narrative, I think one of the biggest plays of this franchise so far this season featured your quarterback, which is great, but it was your quarterback stumbling, spinning, and then getting a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then what does that tell you?
There's been some goofiness. There's for sure been some goofiness, but in terms of the kicker, I don't think you can go out there 2 weeks and be scared to try to kick.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's with Cam Little or something.
Yep. Hamby, let's get a new topic here. What else you got for us?
Here we go.
What's going on with the chat?
AWS is all the way messed up. That's Amazon. And
someone get Collinsworth on the phone. Isn't that his thing?
We had to bootleg.
That is Colin. Well, Jeff Bezos too, but
yeah, but they do that.
Yeah. I got you. The PFF. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
All right.
As Hamby's eating some lean ground beef.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Finished my last bite.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
All good. This is what I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
So I having dinner with my brother yesterday after the game. Not a big sports guy.
Okay.
full-time drummer, as y'all know.
Good for him, actually.
I wish that was me.
All music all the time, and also big into finance.
I wish I wasn't so emotionally invested like he is, because I had to drop an F-bomb in front of my son again yesterday, so that was cool.
Hate to hear that.
Which play was that?
Oh, it was the fourth down when Trevor decided to run for it when it was like 4th and 7, and there was no way in hell he was making it. And
I think that was the set of downs that Kurt Warner was like, you should definitely not go for it.
Yeah, maybe.
So anyway, my brother's like, all right, so I'm telling him all about the game that they've been in London. So I was like, yeah, they went to London. And he was like, well, wait, what was the score? I was like, 35-7. He goes, you mean, again, non-sports brain here. He goes, you mean to tell me that he chat GBTs, 4,200 miles. They were there 7 days, and they scored 7 points. They scored 1 point per day. You know how much money, how many resources, how much time, planning, all that goes into going to London?
Yeah.
And you scored 7 points? He goes, what's wrong with the Jags? I don't know. But 1 point per day, fellas. And the Rams, obviously, the broadcast wanted to make the whole game, at least pregame, about how the Rams got there less than 24 hours ahead of time, and they mopped the floor.
Yeah.
How much of this, here's the question.
Yeah.
There is a question to this.
Okay.
How much of this is Liam Cohen got outcoached by Sean McVay? The teacher outmastered student.
I'd say a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, how can
I think there's some. I think you're not as talented, so I think there is.
I think you have a better quarterback to work with in Matthew Stafford than you do with Trevor Lawrence.
But I think you had some serious, which we might get into. When no disrespect, when Buster Brown jogged out to guard Devontae Adams, they should have changed every play. Throw it to Devontae. Like, so you do have some of those where it's like you have a guy that is so much better than the person that is trying to stop him from getting the football, or the other way around. So I think there is parts of that there, but I think it goes back to what you were saying. I was listening on the way over here. I had Kyron Williams rushing yards as well.
Oh, yeah.
We all three did.
We all did.
The whole planet did.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think the Jags did too, because they were out there to stop the run.
Correct.
And that's where I think he got outcoached.
Yeah,
they had a
I
plan, and McVay did not slightly follow.
Yeah,
he thought what the Jags.
And maybe that's more on Campanile than it is on Cohen, but it's and I mentioned this when I did the pregame show on Sunday, and this is what I was afraid of. Like, everyone was making a big deal of Puka being out, which I get it. Best wide receiver, arguably in the NFL. Any other team loses Puka, you're worried about. Like,
they would have put up 60 if he was
they're worried about it. But you're not necessarily taking on Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams like you're taking on Sean McVay. Like, it seems like he runs one of those offenses where it doesn't matter who's in, who's out. He's going to draw stuff up to be successful and to expose you. And that's what you saw against the Jaguars. On the other side of the coin, we've seen this Rams defense a little bit be porous sometimes. We've seen this Rams defense, give up some points before, and the Jaguars couldn't figure it out. Instead of playing checkers, they were trying to solve a Rubik's Cube that they had no business solving. And that's the difference. Like, the first couple weeks, I was so complimentary and I was praising how Liam Cohen's doing a great job of seeing who he's going against and game planning around that. And now that's kind of fallen by the wayside. Because once again, you talk about a team in the Rams who you could run on them a little bit yesterday. And you chose not to. You chose to put the ball in Trevor's hands, and it didn't really work out. And I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't have left a week early. Maybe it should have been 2 or 3. I don't think it would have mattered, Kasey. I think this team could have flown over the same day before, and the results still would have been the same. I really believe that. I just think that you got outmatched, you got out-schemed, and on defense, yeah, it looked really bad. And you know what? I can sit here and live with that. Because if we're looking at last year, I had really zero expectations of this defense this year. And to make no mistake about it, I was ready to say, well, Coach Campanelli's out of here after this year, right? Because you'll probably get a head coaching job. Well, that's died down, obviously, now. And probably for the best of the Jaguars, because now maybe you can keep him another year. What I wasn't fathoming, though, when this season started, of the way this offense looks. And that's got to be the identity of this team. This defense cannot be responsible for winning you football games with pick sixes and having 3 interceptions or whatever a game and all that stuff. Like, it was never counted on in the first place. What was counted on, what was expected of you, was to put out an offense that, not saying it had to be the Tampa Bay Bucks of last year, but at least an offense that can put up more than 7 points a pop.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm not going to sit here and try to crush the defense today. It might actually. But, like, I feel like in a way those happen. Defense has been thought it was going to be, so, like, you know what, that happens in that. To me, I think I wonder if it's just and here to say the moment ever game. But the London thing, handling that, he still has only coached, 6? Well, so, like, how do you handle it? Maybe he just misjudged. Maybe they all misjudged that.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a little bit of, which we talked about last week, like, I guarantee you Liam Cohen really, really, really wanted to win that game. Not because he needs to win every game, but because of who they were playing.
Yep.
And I think the whole thing just kind of got lost. And they got tagged. Maybe them not running the ball is him in the moment going, in it, game, and it was just all, lack of a better term. I don't think they're terrible football. They were terrible yesterday.
Yeah, by the way, we got in the chat, I got now, it says Kasey's mic keeps dropping out here, Hamby, so we might have to check on that a little bit. Wouldn't be a Monday if we didn't have some kind of mic issues or something like that. Might have to get you another one here, Kasey. I mean, like, we're 3-2. I say we're like I'm part of the team, but they're 3-2 right now. I'm sorry, I thought they're 4-3.
4-3.
My bad, man. Sorry, they're 4-3 right now, and it's wild because if you would have told me they're 4-3 in the first 7 games when the season started, I would have been like, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, Kasey, it's, well, how do the wins look, and then how do the losses look? Right? Like, this is why, like, I'm getting ready to hit the panic button again.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm
itching.
I'm going on Amazon and Jeff Bezos might be buying a panic button just to have, like.
That's a little concerning.
I'm not going to prime it yet, but I'll get it 3 or 4 day delivery, and I'll have it here, and in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Huh.
Just because the way that it's looked.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You've won 4 games, and then those games are against top quality opponents. Let's be honest. Like, you beat the Texans, you beat the Chiefs. Like, you go to the West Coast, beat the 49ers, who look like the real deal.
Good.
Like.
Yeah.
Okay. But, and those were close games. Your defense did a lot of things to help you out there in nail-biting games. The losses, though, and I mean these last 2 losses to Seattle and LA,
yes,
who are also quality opponents.
Top tier, I would say.
We're not even close, Kasey. They're not even in the same ballpark. Yeah. So if the bad looks that bad, and it's a recency bias, then yeah, I might be getting ready to hit the panic button.
See, here's where I'm at with that, and I think this has a lot to do with the schedule, right? You want to talk about the teams they lost to, like Seattle's very good. The Rams are very good. And you mentioned it, you go and beat San Francisco, that was impressive, and you've played all of these, the Chiefs, obviously, you've played all these tough games. I feel like they're not going to pull a Doug Peterson here, right? I don't think that's what this team is. I think they will, obviously we'll see what they do, but I think they should be still in position to handle their business against bad teams. They're not the Colts, all right? So let's take that out. If the Colts don't fall apart, which it looks like they're not gonna.
I don't see it's hard to fathom the culture that's going to collapse now.
Then you're not them. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
But the reality is you still play a bunch of bad teams. You should still, even maybe look a little better than you did. You should almost be able to wake up and show up and beat the Titans twice. And I hate to say it that way, but you almost should.
Yeah.
Because the Titans are bad.
They are.
Who else? Jets, bad.
Bad.
Raiders, bad. If you just win those games,
all right, Kate,
you're talking about a wild card. Now, with that being said, you probably get stomped in the wild card because that's, I think, where we're going. I just think you play just teams that are so bad.
Let's go here, though. Let's go with the next 4 games.
Okay.
Okay. At Las Vegas.
I think you should.
Yeah, I think they should beat them. I think they should crush them.
Even coming off the, I'm not going to say crush at this point, but I think I just said, I think you should you should be able to go beat them.
The Chiefs, and once again, that was
nuts.
It was almost like a lion playing with its food.
Yes.
Like, well, the Chiefs could do whatever they want against the Raiders. And the Raiders had zero answers.
It was like, I wasn't watching it, but
Yeah.
I'm watching like the little fantasy cast because
Yeah.
I was watching.
Mhm.
And it was just like Rashee Rice, 14 yards. Travis Kelce, 26 yards. It was just chunk after chunk. They were just.
I was watching the game because I had Patrick Mahomes in fantasy.
So did I. It was a good day.
I started Dak over him.
Well, no one told you to do that.
Didn't Dak still had a good day, though?
Yeah, I think Dak still ate, but I feel like Patrick probably had a better day. How could he not?
I got an idea here.
But hang on, no, real quick. Let me finish this. Okay, so Raiders.
You should beat them.
At Houston.
You should be in a fight. And
It should be a fight, yeah.
You can make kicks. You probably might. You got to win that one.
It's a great. I mean, truly,
gonna
that's
come down to
probably a field goal game or a 6-point game. Yeah.
So you should beat him? Because I'm not. Once again, I think Houston's going to be at Houston. I think it's going to be a hard fight, especially if Houston wins tonight, which we'll see against Seattle.
I won't say you should beat them, but you should. It should come down to the last 3 plays of the game.
Okay.
You shouldn't go look like you just did.
Okay. Chargers coming here.
I don't know what the Chargers are.
I don't know what the Jaguars are at this point, Kasey. And I don't know what this Jaguars offense is at this point.
You should be in it. You should not get the doors blown off you by the
Sure.
Chargers.
And then the Cardinals.
You should beat them.
Did you watch the Green Bay game, though?
You should beat them.
Okay. I mean, listen, I get it. We're sitting here and say, okay, Raiders, that's a gimme. Texans, you should be able to beat them. Chargers, yeah, we'll see. It's at home. Feeling good about it. 1 o'clock start time. West Coast, traveling to the East Coast. And then Arizona, who, yeah, they're not sexy on paper. If you would have told me that this matchup 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'd been like, yeah, that's probably 3 out of 4 for sure. I put the house on it. Now I'm sitting here saying, yeah, you probably should beat the Rams. Texans, I don't know. Chargers, and the Cardinals, I mean, yeah, you should beat them, but can you? Like, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, but I still think you get 2 of those.
Okay.
If you go 2-2 in that run, you're still in position to be a playoff team because you still got Titans twice, you still got Jets.
I know, man. Yeah.
You need to beat the Colts at home, which you seem to always do.
Yeah.
But they are confusing.
All right, here's what we got. We're going to go to the chat. All right, the chat's been dialed all day.
Okay.
I'm going to read you a chat. You're going to tell me, we're going to go rapid fire. You're going to tell me overreaction, underreaction.
I like that.
Okay, that's cool.
You can give a 15-second or whatever. We'll start with Andy Cray, our man over there in London.
What
Said
up,
he
dog?
actually had a fun day and that it was actually cool to meet Brent for the first time.
Oh, nice. Got to meet Brent.
Overreaction. The guy sucks.
Oh.
Andy Cray's been listening a long time, so I appreciate
yeah,
that
man.
got to
Friend of the
happen.
show.
But yeah, Brent is just not that great of a guy to meet. So I'm gonna go overreact. Good dude, good dad, like his kids love him, good husband, all that stuff. But like, as the guy I know, overreaction.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, that's kind of what you have to draw from a positive, though.
Yeah.
Dude went to the game to see his team, and the team didn't really show up. So I appreciate him, much like taking the Brent Martineau approach and being, sunshine and rainbows, where he found the silver lining in a very gloomy day.
Mr. Hugo says Josh Hines Allen has 11 more tackles than Brent. That's not good.
I'll let you go first, Kasey, with it.
Oh man, I'm not gonna say overreaction because he's getting a large paycheck. I understand he has at times wrecked things, not in the sack department, but just in terms of the madness that he has caused. And he had a moment, I don't want to say or two, but he had a moment yesterday where he looked like he was going to not. But I would say it's a little bit of a concern for the money that he's.
Yes, without a doubt. So, but to be fair, I don't necessarily care about the tackles. Like, I feel like tackles as a stat in terms of either playing outside linebacker or playing edge, they get lost a lot just because you're not really counted on to make a lot of said tackles.
Right.
Like, if they run on the outside, you set the edge, defensive tackle or linebacker will make it. If they run between the tackles, obviously that's more of a safety linebacker to make it. So, like, tackles isn't a stat to me that tells you how good of a defensive end you are. Now, quarterback hits.
Yeah.
Obviously, quarterback sacks. That's the big one.
That's not a good number.
And to echo Kasey's point, you see what Josh Hines Allen's making up in the realms of like the Max Crosbys, up in the realms of TJ Watt, Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Like if you turn on the film and watch Myles Garrett play, where every single play is like a car accident of him in the backfield just causing chaos.
Right.
And then you watch Josh Hines Allen, where sometimes, he gets back there, but is it consistent as Myles Garrett? Absolutely not. So, I think you need better play from Josh Hines Allen.
All right, Daniel Newman said Casey's mic keeps going out, and I think we've fixed that. If not, let us know.
Overreaction.
Then Louis Chesney followed that up with Kasey sucks.
Huh.
There you go.
Overreaction.
Overreaction.
Or wait, no, I'm sorry. Underreaction.
Under. That's all you got? You could have been a little more...
At least next time, have some
mean-hearted.
respect to cuss.
Am I not, like, getting roasted at all for my Trevor Lawrence takes? Like, this is how bad it's gotten.
What'd you say?
So, I literally brought up the conversation from a year ago where I talked about, this fan base who was parading around for Trevor Lawrence and everything, and I felt like he's not playing to the best of his capabilities and no one's holding him accountable. And then everybody came at me saying, well, have you checked the EPA? It's not Trevor's fault. Right. It's Doug Peterson's fault. It's the wide receiver's fault. Trevor's just fine. And basically saying that I was a Trevor Lawrence hater.
Yeah, I remember this.
Little Big Man says half the sacks are on Trevor.
Okay.
I mean, it goes with.
Yeah. Half the sacks are on Trevor?
That's what he said.
You take it.
I mean, I'm not going to get ready to sit here and say half the sacks are on Trevor. But... No, see, like, I'm going to blame Trevor Lawrence for a lot of things, but the porous offensive line won't be one of them.
I'm not going to say half.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's definitely some.
There's some, but I'm not going to say half of them.
Some blame there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the first one, for example, might have been Trevor Lawrence's fault.
Sure.
The first sack to start the game out. Yeah.
Mr. Hugo says the majority of the penalties are pre-snap. That's 100% coaching. Kind of mentioned that earlier, but... do you put it more on the players or on the coaches?
You go ahead.
Okay, so see, this is, and you can call it me being biased or taking the player's side here. Like, when it comes to identity and who you are, that's on the coaches. And right now, this is the most penalized team in the league. And it's not just because of one bad week. It's because of multiple bad weeks. So if you keep doing the same things over and over and over again, and we're talking about how accountability is supposed to be absolute with this regime, and it's the same thing over and over again, then I have no choice but to blame coaching in terms of, well, for some reason, it's not getting through to your guys of what they're doing wrong. So it needs to be fixed. Yeah, I lean more towards coaching.
I go back and forth on this because, like, obviously the Parker Washington video doesn't look great, right, where he's screaming at the ref.
Yeah.
So, like, I in that world, I go, oh, that's on Parker. You got to know where to line up. But then, you go back to they changed the rule where the ref's not going to help you where to line up. So then I'm like, maybe that is on the coaching to, like, pound that through your head that, like, you need to know where to line up. But then I go, you're a grown man, know where to line up because, like, if we come in here and do stuff, we're not looking at Brent to, like, hold our hand and sit us in the right chair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think I keep going back to, like, if there's mistakes that if you make it your job, your boss isn't going to hold your hand and be like, well, this is actually how we do it. Like, you're a grown-up, line up where you're supposed to be.
And one quick follow-up here, too. You know how I feel about this, Hamby. If they ask you during the middle of the game, during the halftime, about what's up with the penalties, and your first response is to blame the refs, I have an issue with that.
Yeah, you don't like that.
I do not like that.
Ryan Williams says it might be time for Dewey getting beat deep 2 weeks in a row.
I am not the world's biggest Dewey. I'm not going to sit here and probably say how I really feel about that, but I would say that is not an over.
Yeah, so, and it's funny because I had a conversation with Brent last night, actually, texting, because he wanted to know my thoughts about Dewey and everything. There's a video circle, and this could be a little longer-winded, sorry, Hamby, but I think it warrants. Okay.
Let's do this. We'll take another break. We're way late. We're going to have a lot more on the defensive side of the football when we come back. Maybe talk about the edge rushers as well. Devin Lloyd being out. How much do you put into it? Dewey, is he struggling, or is he getting exposed, or did he just have a bad day? And is this a bad sample? It's a bad stretch, and or does there changes need to be made? We'll get to that. And a whole lot more. We'll actually get to Billy Napier and Mike Norvell as well.
Oh, that's right. College football's
yep.
I got some thoughts on that. Also, I want to talk to Hamby about Auburn. Did you?
We haven't gotten any college football yet.
Are you aware of what happened to Hamby and his bets?
I don't think so.
You're gonna love this. Also,
I'm aware of Georgia.
Oh, I'm aware of Georgia too, buddy. But no, Hamby got absolutely clowned in Missouri Auburn, which I think was it Missouri?
Yes.
Missouri Auburn that we have to talk about.
We'll get to it.
Also, I got to tell you about the end of the FSU game because I assume you guys were not up at 2 a.m.
Definitely not.
I watched it back.
Stanford.
Yes.
Glenn C., I know you're a diehard FSU guy. Don't know if you were up. That was the most. I personally was going through the ringer. I don't give a damn about Florida State. 2 a.m, I'm losing my mind. I can only imagine how Mike Norvell is feeling. So I'm glad we're going to get into that later. Holy cow. We'll be right back.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with their inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
Thanks for meeting me here.
Okay.
You're my only lawyer friend, and I need your professional opinion.
Okay.
You see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there?
Yeah.
That's all I paid for it. Do you know what you want?
Yeah. I think I do.
Enjoy your new car.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Lease a Hyundai Tucson for $259 a month, or get 2.99% APR, or get $1,750 bonus cash. Hurry in.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home.
Headed on. Here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant, or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet.
Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table.
Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjacks.com.
Putting your needs first. It's the backbone of how First Florida Credit Union does business. In all honesty, you might as well be speaking another language when it comes to finances. Sure, I'm good with my money, but what am I missing in the fine print? That's what led me to First Florida Credit Union. They're the perfect choice for anyone starting their financial journey because they keep finances easy. Plus, they offer financial education and resources I can trust. So I'm always growing more confident. And as a young adult, I am constantly adding more responsibilities to my plate. From a car payment to a mortgage, it all adds up. Luckily, First Florida Credit Union makes sure it adds up in all the right places and not the wrong ones by offering better rates and lower fees than traditional banks, even if you're still trying to grow your credit. Because as a member-owned institution, First Florida genuinely puts people's needs first rather than focusing on profit. So I know as my needs change, they'll be right there to help me reach my goals. Check out firstflorida.org to learn how you can benefit too.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show. Are we taking a break right now?
All right, we got to go to break.
No. Dewey first.
No, we got to talk about
his defense.
Dewey real quick. And Kasey, if people are just joining the show right now, you're pretty adamant, like maybe not the biggest Dewey supporter, but not playing to the standard.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks questionable, and they've really been questionable for a lot of people. But and this may not be fair, right? But I feel like maybe this is just me, but I feel like when Andrew Wingard misses a tackle or like misses a coverage, it feels more obvious. I don't know if it's because I'm watching it a certain way, the hair, but like I don't know. I feel like I feel like it's easy to grade him on like a super critical scale just because I feel like at times it does.
So here's the thing that I think is plaguing Dewey right now, and I honestly don't know how you fix it. There's a video circulating where he's been burnt twice now on the same play. And essentially what it is, it's play action, and the tight end runs basically kind of like a corner route, and you see Dewey get burned, and the tight end, make the catch.
Uh-huh.
If you go back to the Rams game yesterday, I don't even know what the down and distance was, but Dewey essentially cheats up, thinks it's run. It's not run, gets on his heels, has to go back on his toes, tight end beats him, and it's a reception.
Tyler Higbee.
Wasn't Tyler Higbee. I'll say this much about it. And to me, it was more apparent against Seattle because I did a little research on this. So the guy in Seattle that he went against that he got burnt for was A.J. Barner.
Oh, that's right.
A.J. Barner ran a 4.8 something, I think, at the combine.
Yeah, he's more of a tight end.
Yeah, he was
no. I mean, these guys are both tight ends.
He was not fast.
Yeah. It's okay to cheat up a little bit and think it's going to be a run and then have to recover. But in your recovery, you got to stay toe-and-toe with a tight end that runs a 4.8. And if you go back to both plays, he's not even in the frame. Right? So your recovery has to be much better. Now, that's not Dewey's game. I think Dewey's much suited to play a strong safety in the box, try to make tackles, bring intensity.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dewey having to be relied on, okay, is it run, is it pass? Let me diagnose this. Okay, I have a tight end. Let me quick, cover my ground. That's not his game. So I don't think he's in the best position to succeed. But also, when your number's called upon and a 4.8 tight end runs a route and you get burnt for a couple steps, it's your job to recover and then make said play, at least make it a flexion. And he didn't do that. I'm not mad at Dewey for thinking it's going to be a run and then it's a pass and then you get caught.
Sure.
That happens all the time in the secondary.
That's why they run play action.
Why? Correct. The alarming thing, though, is how wide the guy is open when Dewey gets caught.
That's fair.
And that's what makes a good or a great safety, and that what makes somebody vulnerable right now that's getting beat a lot is how is your recovery? And right now, Dewey's recovery is not where it needs to be.
And that's where I go back to what you said earlier. If it's a problem that's 2 weeks in a row that you've clearly seen on film, to me, that would mean, in Gladstone's words, that guy doesn't play next week. I know they're on bye, but I also don't have a feeling that coming out of the bye he won't be out there. So that's where I think you go back to kind of questioning Gladstone a little bit, is it?
So
because you also you cut a guy,
yeah,
who could have potentially been in there if that was the case, and Savage, and he's gone. He's playing for another team. I forget who it is, but he's like playing.
Savage is actually playing for the Browns and didn't have a bad day.
Yeah.
And it's funny because
he's in Cleveland as well.
Well, it's funny because he actually had a couple pass breakups. I was watching that Browns game, and if you watch the press conference after, he was glowing about Tyson Campbell, saying, "You guys haven't seen anything yet. Just wait till Tyson Campbell actually learns this defense. He's going to fit right in here." Now, once again, like, take that for how you want, but it was a pretty glowing endorsement of the enthusiasm, at least, to have Tyson Campbell around that locker room. I'm not sure if there's the exact same enthusiasm right now with Newsome.
All right, let me ask you this question because I've seen it in the chat a couple of times. I've seen it kind of circulating on Twitter, and then we'll take a break.
That's cool because I'm not going to lie. I thought the whole bit of going back to you reading the chat was just to say that I sucked because I was kind of reevaluating that in the break. Remember that bit from last segment?
Yep.
You were like, yeah, let's do this bit. You read one real question.
I read 5.
No, you read one real question.
No, there were
and then
5.
you were like, Kasey sucks. And I was like, okay, nice. He's trying to get back at me for all the years of pain I've caused him. Cool.
No.
And then you read some more, so I thought the whole gimmick was to call me up. That's fine.
It wasn't.
Let's hear how bad Kasey is again. What do you
I
got for us,
respect it.
Andy?
So, yeah, what do you got to follow up that this guy said? I'm
was-
fat. I
No,
know.
this was a different guy, first of all.
Oh,
I read 5 last segment. Go back, watch the tape. Here's 6. The defense, ever since Tyson Campbell was traded, has been pretty bad, specifically in the secondary. And we've just lost 2. Is that coincidence? Is that based off of the teams that you faced? Or is there any shot that some of the mojo of this defense, nobody would argue that Tyson was a huge cultural guy as far as energy and anything like that. He was very calm, very collected, peacemaker, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, nobody could dispute that the Jaguars players really liked Tyson. They really liked him as a teammate. Is there any validity to the fact, any correlation? He leaves 2 weeks ago. Did it do anything to the locker room? Is there any reason why we could say that that is the reason why the Jaguars defense has not played as well last 2 weeks?
I'll go first. On the field, I don't think so. On the field, I think it's about more who you're playing.
Interesting.
I can make the argument and say I think they're missing Lloyd more than they are Tyson Campbell right now.
Okay.
But I don't think that's the reason why the defense is looking like they're looking. Right? Like, Tyson Campbell being in coverage isn't affecting, I feel like, the interior pass rush so much. Is not affecting Josh Hines, Allen, Trayvon Walker in their play so much. So I don't think that's the case. Now, I say on the field. What we don't have the privilege of knowing is how they feel in the locker room. Okay? Mm-hmm. I talked to Tyson Campbell a couple times. Seemed like a cool dude. I don't know how loved, how cherished, how respected he was in the Jaguars locker room. Seemed like a pretty quality guy. I don't know how his teammates responded to him getting traded. I think that sometimes it's business, and I think players understand that. I've gone through a lot of guys that I cared a lot about that got traded or got cut, got released. And I'm like, man, that sucks, but it's part of the nature of the beast, right? Mm-hmm. But I think when you set the precedent of a guy doesn't do his job and he gets traded to Cleveland, I think it's now your job to keep that precedent, because if you don't, then I think the question could be, well, how come they got rid of Tyson Campbell but we're still the same? Right? So I'll finish it with this and I'll let Kasey speak. This bye week, and I said this in the pregame show, this is one of the most important games of the season because you can handle this bye week one of 2 ways. You win this game, you guys are banged up, you can go on a little bit of a vacation, get a break, and come back, and all of a sudden you're feeling better. Or you lose this game. Now, I didn't think they were going to lose this game like this. Or you kind of get embarrassed, and now all of a sudden it's not so much of, okay, we got to rest guys, make sure you guys are good. Now it's, well, we got to evaluate every single position and maybe turn the screws a little more, make guys feel pressure, because what we saw against Los Angeles can't happen again. Yeah. And that might be your bye week now.
Yeah, I actually do think in terms of what you did yesterday, it does impact you on the field. I think Seattle's tougher because I think we talked about this before. Like, I didn't love what Tyson Campbell was going to be able to do against Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like, I think that happens whether Tyson Campbell's on the team or not. But where I do feel strongly is I don't think yesterday, if Tyson Campbell is the guy that's lined up on Devontae Adams, I don't think he's going to get little brothered 3 times. Like,
Sure.
Like, Buster Brown physically could not cover Devontae. I get it. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. That's fine. But I don't think that when the Rams line up and see Tyson Campbell one-on-one, I don't think Devontae Adams is doing what he did yesterday. He's like, hey, just throw it up. As soon as you get the ball, just throw it up in the air because I'm going to little brother him. Like, I don't think that would have happened yesterday if Tyson was the guy covering Devontae Adams. Do they win? Probably not. But I think yesterday, more than the Seattle game, you really felt that Tyson was.
So then, real quick, how much of this then falls on James Gladstone right now? And should he be getting a little more? Because I think out of this whole scenario so far, I think people have praised James Gladstone maybe more than anybody. More than Liam Cohen, more than Shad Khan, more than Trevor Lawrence. Like, I think James Gladstone has been at the forefront of the praise and everything. Let's take a look at it so far. How has Travis Hunter been for your team? Has he changed the game yet? How has this team responded with the Tyson Campbell trade on defense?
For the 2-week sample size says you.
How has the draft class looked so far? Because here's what I'm going to say about the draft class. And I get Ransall's not fair. He got hurt. That's not James Gladstone's fault. I'm sitting here every single week with people gushing over Scadaboo, who went after
Mr. CT himself, boy.
Who went after Tootin. Was there a mistake there by taking Tootin before Scadaboo? Because right now I can sit here and say I think Cam Scadaboo has meant a lot more to the New York Giants than Tootin has meant to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
For sure. The 7-week sample size there. Yeah. I don't disagree with you. They have not got. Mm-hmm. And that's a problem. And I understand Travis Hunter scored yesterday, and that's all fine and good. 35
probably a long time coming.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you certainly have not got enough.
All right.
And, yeah. I mean, do you really miss guys like Kirk and Evan Ingram right now?
I brought up the point of Evan Ingram. Like, where do they miss a kind of down the field kind of middle target? Because Brian Thomas Jr. has shown he's not that guy. Parker Washington can be, but he had the drop too. Kind of afraid to go across the middle.
Right.
I mean, to me, it seems like what's missing right now with Brenton Strange being hurt is a guy that you can rely on in the middle of the field, and I think Evan Ingram could have been that guy.
Yeah.
Now, we were all fine and dandy when Brenton Strange was healthy.
Sure.
Right? And we didn't even miss Evan Ingram. But injuries happen. Depth is a real thing. And do you have the benefit now looking back and saying, you know what? Maybe you would have taken away some of Evan Ingram's reps, and maybe you can't justify paying him that much money. But would he have helped the team if he's still on the team right now, making Brenton Strange maybe your starter, your run blocker, Evan Ingram your more pass catcher?
Yeah.
Especially with teams going 2 tight end sets now, which seems to be kind of the future of the NFL.
Hey, Rams, running 3 tight end sets. That's fine. Throw it to Higbee, damn it. I was for sure Higbee was going to score yesterday.
He dropped the football.
Try again.
Yeah.
You were doing whatever you wanted. You were playing with your food, Rams. I needed Higbee to score.
Casey's going to have his fantasy football vent, and we'll come back after the break. And don't talk to me about fantasy football. George Kittle really cost me big time.
Did he ever catch a ball?
Nope.
Goose egg.
Sure did.
Let's change the graphic from Pitts TD to George Kittle catch one.
I got you.
Was blocking his ass off, though. Can't get points for that.
Get points for that?
If I had to hear one more time how good George Kittle was blocking last night, I was ready to jump through my TV.
Glenn C's on a heater in the chat. We'll talk Napier, Billy Escapier, and Mike Norvell after the break.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? nobody but Nimnicht. GMC, we are professional grade.
If you look good, you feel good, and the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. Can you see my dark circles? Is my makeup highlighting my fine lines instead of covering them up? I question it all. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Colt Tilly, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
A lot of college football news on a Monday. And a Sunday. Billy Napier out as the head coach of Florida. You guys know it. Everybody knows it by now. Strickland pulling the trigger after the 2-point win against Mississippi State, where both teams tried to give the game to the other coach at multiple points, especially in the last minute of the football game.
What a debacle.
So Napier makes his move, the Florida makes their move and gets rid of Napier. And in the last hour, Florida State comes out and says, gives Mike Norvell the old vote of confidence, at least for now. They say, hey, he's got our full support. We will do a full evaluation of pretty much everything across the board after the season is complete. But for now, Norvell is the guy, and they shut down all news related to Mike Norvell. Had an hour talking about both of these guys on Stadium Pulse earlier this morning, 9 to 10 a.m. every Monday, every Friday. Nice. I didn't even talk about Georgia guys. I didn't even talk about Miami being an embarrassment. It was an hour strictly of Billy Napes, Billy Escapier, as we like to call him now, and Mike Norvell. So one guy's in, one guy is out. Did Florida make the right move? Was it the right timing? Even in a win, I would say absolutely it was the right timing. What say you?
I think so. I mean, it's got to be awkward to be fired after a win. But if you go back and listen to the press conference, which I'm sure you talked about, Hamby, he knew. He knew before he coached the game.
I think his players kind of knew too.
Yeah. Now the game itself, and I texted in the group chat. I don't know if you saw it. The sack that DJ Lagway took on 3rd and whatever, at 2-3 minutes left, something like that, to give the ball back to Mississippi State. This is not even a joke. This is like how they found out Emmanuel Clase was betting on baseball because his pitches were nowhere near the strike zone. I think you legitimately see. I saw that play and I was like, they need to check his phone because you don't take that sack. Like it's almost unexplainable. And if you haven't seen it, just go look for it. It's the worst sack that anybody's ever taken in the history of sports. And then they, of course, give it back to Mississippi State. And that guy, like, if I'm Mississippi State, I'm hoping that guy doesn't get on the bus to go back to Starkville.
I like Levy.
What are you doing? Run the ball. You're
dumb.
in field goal range. And I'm guessing he ran the wrong route, judging by the fact that the quarterback threw it directly to the 300-pound guy. I don't know. But I would assume that there was a wrong route there. But even to call a pass in that situation, him and Napier should have took the drive together to the commercial airport and gone back to wherever they lived before this adventure and been unemployed coaches together.
Yeah, real quick before we go any
terrible.
further, Florida is hosting a press conference right now, started 10 minutes ago. They are not able to stream it a lot of places because of the same issue that we're dealing with. So YouTube, I would guess.
What's going on with the stream?
Well, I mean, AWS, Restream, Twitter, it's all kind of one.
So Twitter's down? We're not on Twitter?
We're on the Action Sports Jacks Twitter. We are not on Brent's Twitter.
Good! I like that a lot. We
So,
should
yeah.
start a president. Screw that guy.
So, anyways, they are holding a news conference to discuss the firing of Billy Napier right now. Strickland will speak. Billy Napier obviously will not.
I'd hope not.
DJ Lagway will speak. A couple other players.
You should ask him about the sack.
You should. But anyway, that's that.
Well, at the end of the day, and we talked about this too with Paul last week on Thursday. Does Billy Napier give you your best chance to win against Georgia?
I think so.
I mean,
I actually don't.
I think it's up for debate. I think, and this is definitely more of a college than an NFL thing where you bring in a new coach in. I think it can kind of reinvigorate you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will it be enough to take out Georgia? Probably not. But at the end of the day, the writing was on the wall. Like, if you would have made it through the season, you knew he was going to be gone regardless.
Correct.
Right? So if the people that are essentially writing the checks, that are kind of running the football program, the boosters and everybody, the NIL people, if they're saying, hey, it's time to go, then it's time to go. And, I think if you would have had, a locker room vote, maybe we keep him the whole year. Right? But that's not how it works. It's a performance-based business that is shrouded in money. And when the money says that it's time to go, then it's time to go. Right. So I'm not surprised by it, even if after a win or whatever it looked like it was time to go.
Yeah, I mean, now obviously all eyes will be on Lane Kiffin. I was saying earlier this morning, I've never seen a fan base crave one particular head coach and one coach only before the current head coach is even fired more than I've seen Florida crave for Lane Kiffin before Billy Napier was fired. It's been insane, and it still is. You could hear the fire Billy chants in the swamp louder than anything, louder when they scored a touchdown.
That's tough.
That was insane. So it kind of forced the AD's hand, even if he wasn't wanting to fire him after a win. His hand was forced. On that note, switching over, or by the way, before I get to Florida State, the new rule in the NCAA, which was completely swept under the rug and understandably so with all that's happened in the last week or two, that players cannot transfer or hit the portal until a new head coach is fired 5 days after. So if you're wondering why we already haven't gotten Florida players in the portal, that's why. They're kind of getting lucky along with all the other programs that have fired their head coaches this year, because this is a new rule. Like we normally see in years past, head coach is fired, next day, open season, everybody hits the portal, everybody at least says they plan to hit the portal, all that stuff. Now, for instance, if they were to hire Eli Drinkowitz, just to fill in the blank, I know everybody wants Lane Kiffin. Let's just say that.
I want Eli Drinkowitz.
Okay, so say you hire Eli.
Who's that?
Missouri's head football coach.
Oh, gotcha.
And say that happens the last week of December, then he would have 5 days to come in to University of Florida and try to convince as many players as he can to stay. Those players would have to be forced to hear him out, and then after 5 days they can make their decision. So you cannot hit the portal now. You can't hit the portal as soon as you get the notification that your new head coach is fired. You've got to wait a full 5 days to make that decision. And then the interesting thing, obviously, with the transfer window happening in mid-January, everybody, like I said, wants Lane. If they were to make a run in the playoff, then that's really going to screw Florida if that's their one and only guy.
You're saying Ole Miss?
Yes. No, Florida would be screwed because the portal would open and Ole Miss would still be in it. That's really bad because, guys want to have their new destinations decided on day one of the portal because spots are being taken, money's being dished out. You don't have a week into the portal to name a head football coach and even get him to the city. So Florida, if you're all in on Lane Kiffin, fans, you should be wanting Lane Kiffin to. He can make the playoff, but he's got to lose the first round. Otherwise, you could put yourself in a 2-year hole potentially by kind of getting screwed in the portal this year. Will he keep all the talent? This is the other. I know I'm rambling here. I just want to get to FSU more so, but I want to point out this one more thing. If it is Lane, I'm saying right now that DJ Lagway will not be your quarterback next year. Not because he wants to leave, because Lane doesn't want him. Lane would rather bring Trinidad Chambliss over. He'd rather bring Austin Simmons over. He'd probably have 10 quarterbacks on the top of his mind that he could bring from other programs in the portal before he wants to just stick with DJ Lagway. I think DJ Lagway should want to stay. It's obviously Lane Kiffin. It's one of the best quarterback coaches in college football. DJ Lagway will be lucky to have him as his head football coach. But I will say right now, if Lane Kiffin is the head coach of Florida, DJ Lagway will no longer be there because Lane Kiffin will be bringing his own guy.
I think, first off, I don't think sorry to cut
you. No, you can no.
I hope it's not Lane Kiffin. I'm just going to be honest here. I feel like that is a disaster waiting to happen.
I feel like you're one of the only ones.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons, though. I feel like I also don't think he's going to do it. It's just a gut feeling. I don't know, obviously. I don't think Lane Kiffin's going to be the head coach of Florida. I personally hope he's not. But with all of that, I don't think DJ Lagway's the quarterback. Like, I have a ton of Lagway stuff. I threw it all on sale, Gator stuff, because I just don't.
Yeah.
Who stays? Like, you know what I mean? Nobody stays when their coach gets fired.
Sure. If it was Lane, a lot of people would stay, though. Not saying Lagway.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. All
the weapons would stay.
That's possible. I don't disagree with that. I just think the quarterback spot is so weird like that. So I don't think Lagway is going to be there. Anyway, I don't necessarily know if that's a bad thing. Me personally, in terms of Florida head coach, I do hope. I like that a lot better than Lane.
Hamby, do you like Lane or not?
I mean, I like Lane. I mean,
but do you like him for Florida? Like, do you think that's the guy to get if you're a Florida?
Yeah, I think it is. It should be their guy. I think the timing is right for them. I think he's a very good coach, and that he's shown that he can go head to head with a lot of top programs. Now, he hasn't beaten Bama. He hasn't beaten Georgia consistently, especially on the road. That's still an issue. Obviously, Gators fans know all too well. He came into town with a playoff spot on the line last year, and a Florida team with nothing to play for but their head coach and pride lost. Or beat him, excuse me.
Yes. And beat him huge.
Yes, and Ole Miss lost that football game.
And that
wasn't all that.
That's good Ole Miss. That's Jackson Dart Ole Miss.
Yeah,
and they got
with the top defensive line in the country.
Yeah.
So there's that. I mean, I think if you're Florida, you got to temper your expectations. You got to want to go 8-4 for a couple of years. You have to be willing to do that. Now, there are a lot of people in the fan base that are anybody's better than Billy Napier. In that case, yeah. I mean, people kind of like Louisville's guys, Brom. They like Clark Lee. They got, they just have to, in my opinion, they have to hire a guy in the Power 4 who is at an established program. They cannot go G5 again. They cannot risk an up-and-comer. They've got to, even if it's a slightly boring guy like Braum, which, I mean, he's having a lot of success at Louisville. They just upset Miami, so that would help. But you got to hire somebody at an established Power 4 program.
Yeah, so if I'm Florida, I'm doing everything in my power to get Lane Kiffin. I get the guy from Missouri, but, like, the guy from Missouri, what's his name again? Drinkwitz. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Elia. The way that they run their offense, where it's like they got the power side and the weak side, and like every single play they rotate their. Have you followed Missouri's offense this year? Okay, yeah. So like every single play, depending where they run, they'll rotate their tackle depending on what side it's. I get it. You can call it innovative. I don't know, like from a recruiting standpoint, if that's what you want to do. I think he does what he does well with the players that he has. Now maybe he adjusts if he goes to Florida. But I think when you talk about Lane Kiffin with his power to recruit, with his ability to, I feel like, relate to kids these days, which if you go on social media, you see all that. And I just think his ability to call an offense, especially with the recruits that you have in Florida, where it's all about speed, it's all about the skill positions, I think he can thrive in that kind of situation. You saw what he did at Florida Atlantic in a couple of years when they were nobody, and he turned them into conference contenders. He goes to Ole Miss and turns them around. And now, granted, he hasn't won a national championship, but show me one coach that's on the market right now.
No, that's
so like that's not how it works.
Gus Malzahn.
So yeah, if I'm Florida, I would. Yeah, Gus Malzahn. That's
almost the interim.
Yeah. So if I'm the Florida Gators, I take a strong look at Lane Kiffin. I think he might be a good match for them.
We'll see.
Or to match Casey's point, it might go completely wrong.
Because here's what you have to do with Lane. To get Lane, it has to be the same effect as what the Jags did with Urban Meyer. He's not going to just take the keys to the football program. He's going to take the keys to the entire university.
Give him the Bill Belichick treatment because that worked out so well.
That's what Ole Miss has done, and it's been to their benefit, right? Because they didn't have they're not the same program as Florida. So it has worked in Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin controls everything at Ole Miss. Everything. And it's worked there. The question is, would Strickland be willing to give up that power when he kind of hired a yes guy with Billy Napier, who aligned, from beliefs to philosophy on down the line, they were aligned. And
hopefully not. Hopefully he's not willing to do that because, by the way, I don't need the guy with the keys to the University of Florida sliding in sorority girls. Like, I think that's a real thing. That's a real thing with Lane. You're going to get some of that, right? And it's cool to, from the outside, he's the coach of Ole Miss. I'm like, this guy's a stud. Yeah. If he's the coach of the University of Florida, I'm like, hey, please don't DM the sorority girls. And I don't know if that's, I think that's something you have to consider if you're Strickland. And also, if you're Strickland, I know you don't want to admit this because it's football. Lane Kiffin, if hired, would not be the best coach at your university. The best coach at your university is Todd Golden, who is going to be the head coach of an NBA team in shorter time than anybody wants to admit, even with signing the extension. Mm-hmm. So I wonder how Todd Golden feels, who just won a national championship, if you bring in a Lane Kiffin and hey, this guy's more important than you. I don't know how that would go. And I think bringing a guy like Drinkwitz in is a lot closer to Golden, a guy who has built programs, who knows what that looks like. And then I think you have two kind of similar guys at the top that would be equal, if you will. I think that's appealing.
You're talking about, and let's be honest, he's more of a yes man than Lane Kiffin is. Lane Kiffin's going to want to do things his way. Have the vision.
Yep.
And
Eli's a stubborn SOB too, but he's not as stubborn.
He's going to, but he feels like he's probably going to have to fall in line. Because you're coming from Mizzou, but with all due respect to Mizzou, their support, their resources aren't even close to what.
But the only reason we're talking about Mizzou and why they're ranked in these games is because of the program he built.
Same thing with Indiana, and we praised Indiana for what they've been able to do.
And he goes on the road, and listen, Lane Kiffin doesn't win on the road, and I'm not saying Missouri wins on the road, but damn it, they're close. You know what I mean? I would love to see him get that opportunity because I think that's a guy where you have not seen the best coaching of him, I don't think. You probably have seen the best. I don't know if it gets better than what Lane Kiffin has been doing at Ole Miss. I think you look at the Missouri guy and go, there's significantly more we could tap into here, giving him more resources in a better situation and being in the state of Florida, where Lane Kiffin, you might have got a guy that's already done his best work.
All right, let's get over to Florida State, and I'm going to read some comments from Glenn C. But before his most interesting comment was this. It says, Casey, the Edwin Diaz of the show, elite closer.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so obviously Florida State.
We kind of brought you in for like more than one inning today, though.
That's what happens in the playoffs. I saw Edwin Diaz go in there in like the fourth.
Yeah, long relief guy.
This dude's coming in for a couple
Crucial
innings.
moments.
I appreciate you reading a positive comment after you told me I suck. So.
Yeah, no problem. Glenn C. says, can't believe how upset I am concerning the Michael Alford statement. Michael Alford's obviously the FSU AD. Again, vote of confidence. They're not going to fire him. He later said, and this is where I'm going to need a little help on this one. It says, all the GG I've given FSU, and this is the thanks I get.
Good grace, I believe.
But it's GIGI.
Oh.
I would think money. I don't know if Glenn
That's
C.
what
is,
I was like. GIG. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's.
I thought it was just.
Not sure.
Probably money.
According to Google, it's slang for a grandmother.
That would make sense.
Or a spunky girl with a great personality.
He's still in the chat. Explain that for us.
Where's Gigi?
So let me break down. I would love to just take a minute to break down Saturday night's loss.
Yes.
At Stanford.
As would I.
I would love to take a minute.
Because you want me to do it or you want to do it?
You can go be my guest.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're just jumping in, it is 2:00 Eastern time Sunday morning, and FSU is still playing football against Stanford.
You guys are sickos.
Now, the part that we can't gloss over is that they're losing to Stanford, right? That's a whole different can of worms, but the end of the game is...
To a backup quarterback.
And Stanford, Andrew Luck's out there not coaching, but
did they go out there for a week, or was it just the day before? Do we know? I'm being honest.
I don't.
Okay.
But this is the, like, honestly, I was on tilt. My dog is like, why are you standing in front of the TV at 2 a.m? It's just amazing to me. And
bro, what did you have?
Ready for this? Nothing. Not a thing.
I don't believe
just
that.
Investment in school spirit.
I don't believe that.
I swear to you, I promise you.
You didn't have any action on the game.
Here's what happened. This is real. This is the realest of life. I was watching your debacle with Auburn and whoever, Missouri.
Celebrating it?
Yes.
Because I just couldn't believe how that was playing out.
And we're going to get to that.
And it was like 12 something probably when that was ending.
Yep.
And Florida State was still on. I was working on stuff that I'm doing next week for real money making. And like I was just kind of in the zone working on stuff, and I had it on, and I was like, and then it got to the fourth quarter, and I was like, all right, I'll see him lose to Stanford. And then you get to this exchange at the end of the game. If you didn't see it, it's magic. I would go look at this hit to explain this part. You did. They're driving down the field trying to beat Stanford.
They're down 7.
Is in its own thing. Castellanos, it's 3rd and something. It's long. Castellanos takes it and is running. And gets the first down and goes down to slide. And bro from Stanford, who I'm guessing did not get in on the athletics more, or on the smarts more of the athletics, absolutely takes his head off, just like very similar to what happened to Trevor against.
Might have been even worse than Trevor. It was
bad.
Just
really bad.
4 or 5 steps late. Castellanos is very much on the ground.
Completely laid him out.
Completely obliterates him. Castellanos is down. They throw the flag.
Arm flailing. It
was a bad scene. And this kid gets ejected for targeting. But Florida State also holds on the play. So the foul's offset. And this is the part that I can't get over, and I said this with Trevor. How on earth is there a play that could possibly happen that a kid gets thrown out for cheating, breaking the rules so badly that it's the same as a minor hold?
And to answer your question, it shouldn't be.
We can't do this football. So in the play, FSU loses the first down, loses their quarterback, and has to redo it with a backup quarterback who hasn't played a snap all year. Great. They don't get it. They punt and they punt. So anyway, they get it back. They're driving down the field. The backup quarterback, there's less than a minute left. This kid physically can't. I mean that with all respect. But he can't throw the football. So he's running and somehow getting first downs against Stanford, and they're driving. Last play of the game, they run up to the line, 2 seconds. Norvell's like, you got to snap it as soon as you hear the whistle because they have no timeouts. Whistle blows. Center snaps it on the ground. This thing rolls past the quarterback. The quarterback runs and gets it, grabs it, turns around, and just chucks it up towards Deuce Robinson, who is getting absolutely just hugged and... it would be a crime if you did it to somebody in the street. So they throw the flag. PI.
Okay.
Florida State gets one chance from the 2. Untimed down. This thing is just off the rails. It's 2 a.m. Eastern time.
That's unreal, man.
Quarterback can't throw the ball. They run a play where you do the little shuffle pass to the running back who's coming across.
Oh, you're talking about just like a shuffle, like a.
Yep. Like you start running this way, they do the shuffle.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure he got in.
Oh, really?
Like they rule him short.
Sure.
So they go look at it. The ESPN view of it. This is crazy.
There's not enough camera angles.
There's a kid in the way of the down the line shot. There's an FSU like player who's not relevant to the play, just running around.
Yeah.
He just stands there. So the ESPN broadcast is like, we can't see it. We don't know if they have a look that we don't. All the other looks are like from above and behind, and like there's not a good shot of it. I thought he got it. Did you think he got in?
I thought he got in.
I thought he got in too, but they didn't have the down the line look at it. They keep the call on the field. He's down short. FSU loses.
Yes, I had no idea this went on. No idea.
And then the best part of the whole thing is they just showed Norvell after, and he is standing there just stone faced, like through the ringer in the last 2 minutes, and he's just not moving. They come up to get his headset. He's just like,
well, it is Stanford after all.
Yeah, no, you can't lose to Stanford. But it was the most amazing sequence. The pass interference, the ball's on the ground.
I mean, I feel I don't even know Stanford's record, but I assume that was like
they beat San Jose State 31-30 at home 2 weeks ago.
Like that game
they gave
was like
up
their Super
30
Bowl.
to San Jose State, and Florida State could only muster 13.
You're gonna see a picture of them. Like, I'm sure they were celebrating that win. Like
they were pretty fired up
in every single office of like their Fortune 500 companies. Like when you go meet with the CEOs of the Fortune 500 companies from Stanford that played in that game, you'll be like, "Hey, what happened in that game?" Oh, well, we knocked out Florida State's quarterback, and then we ended up winning the game.
Yeah, so
like, that's what it was.
And again, going back to that rule, Castellanos never comes back in.
Yeah, that's a dumb rule.
Not even sure what his status is going forward because he got rocked, and the fouls offset is just.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I'm sure it's happened before, Casey.
We said it with Trevor. Why on earth is that an offset? If you get ejected,
true. It did happen with Trevor. Yeah.
If you get ejected from the game, I can't have the penalties being offset. To me, if it's
that has precedent.
If it's a personal foul, that shouldn't be able to count as offsetting.
Yeah, I agree.
On either way, like it should not be the same as a standard. If I line up off sides.
Yeah. Oh wait, hang on, illegal motion. Oh, I'm sorry.
He's like laying on the ground.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your quarterback's lifeless and incapacitated. Yeah, but you guys didn't have the proper formation, so I guess we'll call it even.
It's got to be one of the worst rules.
How does that work?
I would have got ejected if I was Norvell.
Because
your backup quarterback can't do it. So I would have been just screaming and yelling, and there's nothing you can do because that's the rule of the sport. And then to bring it all full circle, I was pretty positive he was going to get. Like I thought it was going to be a notification at like 3:42 a.m. Eastern, and they're going to be like, "Yeah, he's not getting back on the ball," because you can't lose to Stanford.
Yeah.
The week before you lose to Pitt at home, can't do that. I know you beat Alabama, but outside of the 1 year with Norvell, it's not been good for Florida State. And I hate
9 straight ACC losses.
Yeah, that can't happen because the ACC sucks. And I hate to say it because Norvell's like a good dude, like from where I sit, right? Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know him.
Same with Billy.
But I'm not going to say that about Billy Napier. But I will say it about Mike Norvell from where I sit. And, I'm not rooting for people to get fired, but I am a bit flabbergasted about how this happened today, that you go lose to Stanford and keep your.
Glenn C. said he was obviously talking about money. I guess he's like tickets and all that stuff. He said Kevin Sperry is 2 feet tall.
Tuition.
It
was bad.
Yeah. He says, I've been pounding Natty Lights and wondering why I care so much.
Ooh.
It's not going to get any better for FSU. Yeah. What a win, though, the Alabama win.
Oh, in retrospect?
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense. And by the way, did you confuse everybody or what?
Yeah.
Because we came in here, we're like, Florida State's
back.
Alabama's terrible. And then, by the way, Alabama's
not bad.
Dog-walking people.
Yeah.
Are you surprised they didn't fire him? Norvell? Stanford. Austin.
That's
9 straight ACC games you lost.
I know.
The ACC
it's the Alabama. Like your greatest win of the season is so much more superior, I feel like, than your worst loss. And I get it's Stanford, and I understand that. But look at I don't know, man. I think Alabama got them the entire I think anything could happen at the Alabama game, and he would have been fine, regardless of what happened the rest of the season. By the way, it hasn't been good for Florida State after that. But I think that Alabama game got you the longest leash ever.
Yeah, I think it's the money is the biggest thing because it's $55 million buyout for Norvell, which it was only $21 million for Florida, and through all of that, the biggest thing is they're trying to get out of the ACC, which of course they have bigger fish to fry. They've got to win football games in the ACC first, but they're trying to save as much money as possible so they can buy themselves out.
What do you think other conferences are thinking right now with Florida State? Do you think the Big Ten's like, we got plenty of Purdue's? Nah, we're all good. Stay in the ACC.
I mean, you probably take them, but
no, you'd take them for sure.
At least football,
you would trade Purdue.
Football, you trade
basketball?
Rutgers.
You would trade Rutgers.
Hey, have you seen what? I know you haven't, but Florida State basketball recruiting is like this dude is like
it's good?
Unbelievable.
Really? Because they've fallen off kind of the past couple of years.
Yeah, like I don't even know his name, but he is recruiting his tail. Like they should be good. They're good at softball, so like they do have things to offer.
Yeah,
but football wise, it's bad. They shouldn't have signed him to that extension, as it turns out. And I think you could argue this with Napier, but it's already over with Napier. Like, you know, if you're not going to fire him here, I don't think there's a scenario on earth that Mike Norvell coaches Florida State week 1.
I agree.
So I guess you're just going to wait till the end of the season to let him go? You don't want to write the check today?
I forgot. Stanford is in the ACC, huh? Or are they not in the ACC?
I would assume they are. Why else would you play them?
Or are they independent?
They are in the ACC.
The Atlantic Coast Conference. When you're by the Pacific Ocean.
That's a great point.
When we come back, I'm going to cook Hugh Freeze. He cost me huge.
That's
and we'll have a little update on our bets as well.
Oh, boy.
That's right back.
I'm good.
On the Brent and Austen Show.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going. Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052. It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
for the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jag Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet.
Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location, right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table.
Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjacks.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Vanderbilt, cash it, money line.
This is awesome.
Georgia, money line, cash it. Mississippi State, plus 14.5, almost an outright winner. Iowa, plus 4.5, outright winner.
You were sweating
Auburn,
out for a minute.
all you've got to do is run the ball
Yeah, I thought you had
3
that.
times.
Did you see how it happened?
Yeah, I did.
And kick a field goal.
I thought you had it.
And you freaking go backwards because you're ass.
Oh, wow.
Hugh,
Brent's away and
4 straight losses, bro.
close competitive losses, though, Hamby. Competitive losses.
All you had to do was just not go backwards, and your kicker would have made the field goal.
Competitive losses?
This was just an amazing watch. Somebody who wasn't invested. Well, I was invested because I wanted Hamby to lose.
Bro, if the game goes to OT, you should cash.
Yes. So that's where I'm at, right? Because I knew you were. I didn't remember the exact number, but I knew you were over 3. So I was like, if this thing goes to overtime, he's got to feel good. Auburn gets the ball first. I'm like, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Line up to kick. I'm like, solid.
Yeah, if they make it, it's over.
No. Wide right, I believe. Then Missouri, you almost feel better when they miss the field goal because you're like, Missouri doesn't need to score.
Mm-hmm.
No. If Auburn scores, I had plus 4.5. So that even if Missouri scores a touchdown and wins right there, I cash my bet. I was rooting for Missouri to score a touchdown and win.
Yeah, I know. But even after they missed the field goal, you still got to feel good because Missouri has no reason to score. You borderline center up the ball and kick it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, if that would have been me in real life, when Auburn misses the field goal, I would have borderline felt better because I'm like, they're not trying to score. They're going to center up the ball and kick the field goal. But I understand where you're coming. Like, you feel great is the point. You're on cloud 9, and then they miss the field goal. You're like, all right, but still, I feel pretty damn good about it.
Right.
And then he misses the kick. And I'm like, oh, no. Because they get the ball first. I'm like, dude, if they score a touchdown, Hamby's going to jump out a window. Oh, man.
So did nobody hit their bets again? I mean, I had 3 going tonight, but I needed George Kittle to get 50 yards last night, and that
I did not.
That didn't.
I'm here to report. I took that shot at the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network talking about Central Michigan's offense. As it turns out, Central Michigan's offense has a lot more going than the Action Sports Jacks network did that day because the network was in black, and Central Michigan's offense was in the green, baby. They put up like 30-something.
So I didn't do the whole full screen because there's still a couple bets to undecided with Monday Night Football games tonight, so I'll be doing that tonight or tomorrow morning. But I would like to report that even though
this is good.
Hugh Freeze absolutely screwed me And I should have hit that 34 burger right there.
Yes, you should have.
I still, Austin, am on the board.
Oh, yeah, but of course. $6.14 leading the way. Let's
go.
Whoa. Leading the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kasey got it last week.
Second place.
But to this point, Patriots minus 3.5.
Yeah.
Titans come out and score two scores right away.
Bro,
I was like, this is the most amazing thing that could happen.
Trust me, I knew because my biggest bet of the weekend was on the Patriots to win. I even bumped it up to 7.5.
Thankfully.
And it was a giant sweat in that first quarter.
Yes, it was.
I was like, Vrabel, huh? Cam Ward all of a sudden looking like the reincarnation of a Patrick Mahomes. Okay.
Fired Coach Bump.
But then all of a sudden it's okay. Now we're starting to see a little more. Now we're seeing why Kelvin Ridley's not playing. Now we're seeing some things. And obviously Drake May is pretty damn good.
The best part is I'm sweating Hamby's bets more than he was. Look at this celebration. But I was so invested the night before, and when I see the Titans score first, I'm like, this is the greatest day.
Yeah. Dude, I'll say this. I am so happy that we have this bit. It brings me so much entertainment. Betting against y'all, rooting against y'all's, betting for my own.
Speaking of bits, Georgia, your team.
We got that one.
Your team in the team bets, brought to you by
Mason's Famous Lobster.
There you go. Georgia covered.
They did.
You turned your back on your own team.
Gave up on them
and said, get a win by 7. Don't have confidence in them to beat them more by 7.
That's not what I said.
I don't trust him between the landscaping, is what I remember you saying. I don't remember exactly how you said it.
So something about landscaping and hedges and like you weren't buying it?
No, I said I would allow Brent to make the pick.
Imagine forfeiting your team. No, I remember how the conversation went because look who you're talking to. I have memory. You said that they were going to win by 7. And then me and Kasey were super confused because, well, the spread is 7.5.
7,
yeah. So we were confused by that.
That's
and then
right.
you deferred to Brent, and Brent said, I like that extra, the hook. So then you agreed with him on your team.
Gave up on him.
Turned
your back on Kirby and the boys.
And what did me and Kasey do? The foster parents that we are, we took Georgia off the streets.
Yeah, we did.
They were abandoned, left in the cold, and we said, you know what, Georgia? We're going to give you guys a shot. Come on over to Team Kasey and Team Austin. We're going to take care of you. We're going to feed you. We're going to pamper you, and let's see what you can do. And boy, did they deliver when they had to.
They did what they had to do.
Game picker-upper, baby.
We appreciate you.
That's what we do.
That's all right. Brent took the Rams, so he went back with that one.
Well, Brent has insider information that we'll talk about when he comes back into town.
I mean, listen, that's just, you got lucky there because he knew. Like, if any of us were team with Brent, the reaction would have been exactly the same. Because I watched it back. He said, I think I like the Rams here. We all were like, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh, dude, we had the same look at the exact same second. We're just like.
So you got bailed out on that one.
Yes, because he had insider information. If anything, we should take a game away because he knew something that we didn't.
I think he cheated.
Yeah.
I agree fully. I don't think
All
you
I
guys should get
know
that
is that Gunnar Stockton counted for 5 touchdowns
There we
and
go.
threw 5 incompletions.
Well, that's fine.
For us.
Yeah, for us.
No, for me.
No, he's
me.
not your guy anymore.
Yes,
our
he
guy.
is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Oh, I can't wait to clip it. I'm going to send it right to hey.
I had
make sure you clip
Georgia
it, and
in
make sure
more
you send it
action-
at Gunnar Stockton.
I bet. I have a
We're done.
striking suspicious Gunnar Stockton does not have a single piece of social media.
He
Really?
doesn't. No, he has Instagram.
Really?
I'll send him a telegram if I have to. I'll pay the extra bucks.
I'm going
3
to have to
pictures
print it
a
out.
year, 1 Georgia related in it playing, 1 with his truck, and 1 with his cows.
I'll go in his DMs. That's fine. I'm verified. He'll see me. I'll send the video that you turned your back on him.
He might
That's
not
fine.
be verified.
Yeah, maybe he's not verified.
I was just so happy that we won the football game. I didn't even care about the spread.
They. You have to say they now.
No, I don't.
No, you say they. You're not part of the
gave
team.
up on 'em.
You turned your back on your own team.
The spread? Nobody cares about the spread.
I do.
Picked them to win the game.
I did as well.
My whole
win
life revolves around the spread.
Mine doesn't. You see me? I'm doing
hey,
$1 bets.
We've seen your bank account.
Yeah.
Your life does revolve around the spread a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay then.
I care about freaking winning and losing.
This dude's in the red, man.
Oh man.
No, I'm not.
Oh, he hit the $2 bet. He's good.
I had a couple of $1 bets this week.
What a flex.
It's you.
Heck yeah, baby.
Well, we're going to have a meeting after the show. Going to play some soccer bets.
Yeah,
a
lunch is
lot
on
of
me
action.
today.
A lot of action going on today.
What are we having for lunch if it's on you?
Ground beef.
Dude's got some saltine crackers he's going to give away.
He's like, yeah, BOGO at Publix, so I use my $4.
All right, well, we got about, 5 minutes? Not even 5 minutes? How many breaks we hit here, Hamby?
We got to hit one. Let's just take one more. So we got 7 minutes.
Okay, 7 minutes.
We break it now or later? All right,
okay, so, I mean, before we head out and everything, and we'll get Brent back tomorrow to share his updates and what he actually knew about the Jaguars team, the insider information, if you will, because I felt like he may have pulled the rug a little bit, like you see in Bitcoins and all that, the crypto stuff.
Yep.
Brent knew something that we didn't, and I can't wait to pick his brain of what that was, because for the guy who was okay, we're not gonna carry anymore on. We're just gonna milk it in. This is why we can't take it seriously on the show.
1 second.
This is why
that was amazing.
We try to be serious in the show, and then that stuff happens.
The buttons are way too close together. I was trying to help my man out.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brent's got to answer for what he picked against yesterday.
I'm serious. He definitely knew something.
Guys, biggest concerns going into the bye week before we wrap up the show here. And I get there's a lot of them. There's a laundry list. Give me your top 3 concerns, no order, in terms of the Jacksonville Jaguars going into the bye.
Catching the football.
Okay.
That's probably.
Hamby has catching the football. Do you agree with that, Kasey? Top 3 concerns?
Yeah, I'll go catching the football. I'll go secondary. I will go.
Give me pass pro, please.
I'm between that and pass rush.
Well,
I'll go pass pro. It's been bad.
Well, are we saying pass pro or just offensive line in general? Because they're not really running the football either, even though you're not giving them
still average 5.5 a carry. I mean, I'm not all that concerned about the run.
I feel like it was kind of a cheap 5.5 a carry. Did you guys feel that way? Two kind of bigger ones at the end.
A little bit.
I'll go pass pro. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Hamby, you going pass pro too?
I am.
All right.
Yours.
What was your third one? What did you have? You had catching the football, pass pro, and what?
Oh, I guess I didn't do one. I will take.
My other one was secondary.
I'll take pass rush.
Okay. Well,
but both those teams get the ball out so freaking fast.
I know.
I'm going to go with penalties first.
That's fair.
Because I think that is a little worrisome. Right. I'm going to go with the decision making of Trevor Lawrence. Because I do think we can sit here and say the drop balls, which is probably be my third point, is just the offense in general. But if you want to be specific, wide receiver options, let's just say right now. But I am a little concerned too with Trevor Lawrence. I'm concerned about the development. I'm concerned about his poise in the pocket and what it looks like. Because I thought the problem solver was going to be, getting this young upstart play caller who has a chip on his shoulder, who was willing to work miracles, it seemed like, with Baker Mayfield. And I thought he was going to come in here right away and turn Trevor around. And I think press conferences, I think in preseason hype, it looked like it was going that direction. But based off the sample size of 7 games, I think we're still asking the question, is Trevor the guy or not? And I said the most important thing, more than, because I didn't expect them to be 4-3 at this point, I said the most important thing this season was to figure out if Trevor Lawrence is the guy or not. And we're sitting here 7 games into the regular season, and I still don't have an answer for you. And that's a problem. Those are my 3 things.
It's not good. I don't disagree with you on what you said. I would say, if he's not the guy, he is the guy. Where are you going?
No, I mean, there is another option, and I get that, Kasey.
Nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go right now, but eventually something will present itself.
Sure.
I mean, and listen, I'm not speaking this into existence. This isn't going to be like another Parker Washington thing that, hampered the show when Brent brought up the exercise. I thought Jared Goff had nowhere to go either. So it took him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but see, when I say nowhere to go, I mean, had they paid? When did Goff get paid? Had he been good yet on the Lions?
When he got paid?
He got paid, did he not?
Yeah, Jared Goff got paid on the Lions. But didn't he do a contract with Los Angeles too or not?
I don't know. Hamby, if you could check on that. Because where I'm going with this is like...
He signed it in May of last year, so he had been good.
But did he have a different one before that with the Rams?
Yes.
But he didn't...
Well, Jared Goff's been to Detroit how many years now? Like,
he signed a 4-year, $134 million deal in 2019.
Okay, so that would be the Rams.
With the Rams.
With the Rams. So 4 years, 100. I'm sorry,
134 aggregate average salary, $33 million a year.
So that would put him top 5. I feel like at that time maybe.
But they had just gone to the Super Bowl. Right.
So this is my point, though.
Right. We're in the same place.
Yeah.
But.
So
and he signed 4 years, $212 million.
Okay.
Last year.
You had a quarterback that took you to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That you gave a new contract to, that you traded away.
Yes, but 33 is a lot easier to trade in my mind than.
Sure, that's fair.
And like you were in almost a perfect situation for that because they wanted Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where are you finding someone that's going to take on $55 million of salary per year for Trevor,
and also has a quarterback?
You want their quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about this because I was listening to you on the way here. Like, where that seems like it's going to maybe happen. You're not bringing Tua here. He is significantly worse than Trevor.
Correct.
Right in this fantasy world because Trevor's not going anywhere.
No, he's not.
But like, Kyler Murray is not a better option.
No.
And I'm even talking to you, and you can agree on that.
No, of course, because like at least with Stafford, it's like, okay, well, this is a guy who has all the capabilities. He was just in a bad spot with a couple bad teams.
Right. You don't have a pick. I don't think you're trading the quarterback for the pick.
Yeah.
Or many picks.
Sure.
So like, even if he's not the guy,
you're probably committed to him.
And it obviously by now you would have done anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So. I mean, it's, he may not be the guy.
Yeah.
But he is the guy.
No,
and that's
for sure.
Where we are.
Just my biggest thing to put a ball on the show, though, Kasey, is I get we're 4-3. I said we're, but I get, the Jaguars are 4-3, and we should be excited about it. And maybe I'm maybe erring on the side a little more of just the recency bias. They're 4-3, but I'm going to be honest, I don't know if Trevor's the guy or not. And if you're 7 games into the season, then I'll sit here and say so far, the main goal of this season was to find out if Trevor's the guy and you haven't found it out yet. You haven't accomplished your goal.
Fair enough. And
that's where I sit on it.
I think that's fair. And I think now, in my opinion, what you hope for with Trevor is it's not always going to be perfect. You said this a couple weeks. There's going to be some really bad at times. All I think you can hope for at this point for the rest of Trevor Lawrence.
For sure.
Yes, he fell down, but he got up and scored. You know what I mean? And if he makes enough of those winning plays, you said it. You're going to be punching the wall in the third quarter. But if he makes the play in the fourth quarter, you win the football game. Who gives a damn?
All right. Well, this was the Black Parade episode, everybody. As me and Kasey were, I guess, going to a funeral in our black tees and everything. But we'll have some more sunshine and rainbows featuring tomorrow when Brent Martineau is back in studio, fresh off the London trip. For Jason Hamby pushing all the right buttons. Sorry about your betting loss, but you still won a little bit, so it's all good. Kasey Kuhrts working overtime. Couple extra innings today with the big righty. I'm Austen Lane. Stay safe, stay casual. We'll check you out tomorrow. Where's the camera? There it is. Peace.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet's truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Cozy up to the bar, grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant, or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach